All right, ladies and
Why
gentlemen.
would you do that?
I just clapped.
You
What? That was clap. It's time for the late night boxing talks. There's a lot going on in the world of boxing. I should say there isn't in the world of boxing, which is affecting the world of boxing. Gervonta Davis has gotten himself in hot water yet again because he can't seem to keep his hands to himself. Many of you out there know that I detest this individual because it's just like Chris Lovejoy said it. And shout out to Chris Lovejoy because he said it concisely. All this kid's cases is about hitting girls. Like, you claim you a street guy, you claim all this street shit, but all you get locked up for is hitting girls, bro. Like, that's all you be getting locked up for. It's always a girl involved in the stuff that you be doing. And I think D Styles, I just got off a podcast with D Styles, and shout out to him. I think he said it best that it's up to the court of law to prove whether or not under the law you're actually innocent or guilty. Though in the court of public opinion, you're already guilty. There's no man that seen you putting hands on that woman in public in front of mad people. There's no man that seen you do that and thinking to himself, well, if it wasn't nobody around, what would this little butterball do? Because you doing that in public, you putting hands on that woman in public. I don't care if you was just grabbing her shoulders and none of that. That already shows that you lack a level of self-control. Because a lot of us get mad. Look, we all get mad. Punch a wall, break your hand, get a hairline fracture. You ain't supposed to be shaking up the girl. And we seen him do that in public. So if you remove the public, the hundreds of people that were around in that particular situation, and you enclose it and isolate it to where nobody's around and it's just y'all, what do you be doing? As far as I'm concerned, that kid is guilty. Like, yeah, you guilty, bro. Like, yeah, they all making it up, right? All this different shit that be happening, it's all made up, bro. They just making it. Like, nah, nobody believe that shit, bro. You a woman beater. Straight cheese. Men don't believe you. That's why it's a lot of guys, they don't like this kid. I got like 2 comments in my video about it earlier today. Like, yo, why you hate Gervonta Davis? Because he keep hitting girls. You couldn't discern that or derive that from the video, the 17-minute video I did that, well, I don't like him because he keep hitting girls. Like, what's the matter with him? You know what I mean? And it, I got a lot of DMs. I appreciate them, asking me what I thought about it and how it's a lot of guys that are rushing to his defense, asserting his innocence, as if these kinds of things just happen. No, they don't happen, bro. This much shit does not happen by accident. You just one of them dudes that you comfortable because you got the Napoleon thing going on, that you need to feel powerful. You need to assert your dominance. Why you ain't assert your dominance with Lomachenko is what I want to know. Because that was a conversation. That was a conversation for a long time. If you so into hitting people, why you ain't want to hit him? You got to get to the house, hit the joint. So, I don't have really no respect for him. I'm pretty sure most of y'all don't either, based on the reaction that this story is getting. Shout out to my man Drew. Eddie thanking Tank for taking a shine. He surely did. He surely did with that shit. Just because you from the streets, it don't make you a street dude. His rap sheet is full of domestic abuse and no actual street moves. 3rd grade reading and writing level, flunky. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Chris Lovejoy is saying, who I would be very thrilled if he would join the panel and just impart a few words, because I feel like that's how most of us were feeling, that, yo, this dude literally got another domestic abuse charge. Why all the charges? Why every time they call the cops on you is because you hitting a girl? What's the matter with you? That's the only time you make the news, bro. If you ain't hitting a girl, it's because you smashed into that car and left that pregnant woman in that car. Like, you don't be making the news for no gully shit. Don't be making the news for no tough shit. You make the news because you hitting girls, bruh. You not a street guy. Just because your mom broke, and it's the other shit, because I think it need to be said. Just because You come from a poor block. That don't mean you doing street shit. You not no fucking enforcer. You know who was an enforcer? Who's that fucking guy from Georgia, man? Aftanzu Kurtzidze. That was a street dude. That was an enforcer. When he got knocked, it was for racketeering, conspiracy, larceny, and murder. That's what he got knocked for. You not getting knocked for nothing like that. You not getting knocked for no RICO law. You not getting knocked for no gun possession. When you assaulting somebody, it always seems to be a girl. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck going on here? Shout out to my man Hot Boxing, who I just spoke to. This man Jules is the hardest working analyst in this niche. Just crushed the round table, and yeah, I had to get one out. I had to get one out before I go to bed. And I just don't like it. You know why? Look, I got 2 sisters, my grandmother. These was my fixtures when I was a young man. So the idea that like, oh yeah, it's a guy, and every time he get knocked, it's for hitting girls. You know what I mean? Like when you hear about Gervonta, it don't be no gully shit. It be some, if it don't be some JV little kid shit, and bear in mind, this man 28. You pushing 30, bro. You definitely pushing 30 more than you pushing 20. You ain't 20 no more. And every time you get knocked, it's something to do with a girl. Either you hit a girl, or you threaten a girl, or you left a girl. It's like, bro, like you not no street person because you keep bullying girls, fam. Like, what's going on? You don't get knocked for no real shit. Like, you get knocked for some, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? ABC Local 10 caught him leaving the jail. It was, I seen him. He was wearing chocolate. I seen a little butterball. He was wearing chancletas and he was between haircuts. He was literally between haircuts, like his shit was boofing. And I just, it's like I said, man, it's a lot of men. You know, the women are going to take the stance that they take, be what it may. But a lot of the men, you're going to notice that it's a lot of men that they looking at that and they like, yo, this little guy is a piece of shit. Like, nah, fam. Yeah, they drive us all crazy. But why every time you get knocked, every single time, it's a girl involved? It's a girl. If you ain't hitting a girl or hemming up a girl or leaving a girl in a car accident, you hitting another girl. It's like every time. You don't get knocked for, you know what I mean, attempt to sell, paraphernalia, gun charge. Nah, you don't get knocked for assaulting no man neither. Like, you don't get knocked for that neither. You get knocked because you busted a girl lip. And we all supposed to think, yeah, this shit just keep happening because it's just, you know, you just a victim, bro. Like, you the victim in all of, like, nah, bro. That shit don't just be happening by accident, bro. Not that, it's the same shit over and over. He just one of them guys that his mommy or his daddy or whoever his parental unit, they didn't teach him that you're not supposed to hit girls. They didn't teach him that. And the reason is, I think that when these situations happen, I think that the populace is often surprised how a lot of men are taken away by it because, you know, like the men usually have an adverse reaction, a lot of the men, because it's like those is the guys that when they was growing up, they mommy or they daddy or whoever the fuck raised them, they taught them that nah, you don't do that, bro. It don't matter. You better go punch a wall. You a boxer, go hit a heavy bag. Go hit the heavy bag, bro. Work it out. You supposed to have the discipline to compose yourself. And I think it was the Tate guy that said this, which is often true. Men are men because they do things they don't often want to do, but they do them because they know that they have to. And that's the perfect parallel. That's literally what it is. Like, guys do a lot of shit they don't be feeling like doing, but they do it because they know that they have to. That's part of being a man. So if you got to go and hit the heavy bag because you mad, go ahead, because that would be better than what you're actually doing. And he released a whole paragraph, a whole essay of just, yeah, man, yeah. No, I don't believe you, bro. Like, if we just gonna be real, because like I said, D-Style said it best. D-Style said it best. It's up to the courts to decide whether or not you're innocent under the eyes of the law. But in the court of public opinion, ain't no God believing that this much shit is going on by accident. Every time you get knocked is because something happened to some girl. That shit ain't by accident, bro. You just like doing that shit. You know what I mean? Could this be the end of Gervonta Davis is the question, which is the question I will pose to the panel. What you make of his "I don't want to fight" tweet? Don't fight, because I wasn't going to buy that shit anyway. I wasn't going to buy that shit. I wasn't even going to watch that shit. I was going to try to touch her butt. Fucking what? Fuck you. Fucking touch your butt. That's what I was going to do. I wasn't going to watch that shit, bro. But yeah, I mean, like, really though, like, look, I mean, why would he want to fight? In a nutshell, whether you think he's innocent or you think he's guilty, why would he want to fight under those circumstances when he basically became a social pariah almost overnight? Because you have this thing with domestic violence, bro. Like, you really do. Like, when you get knocked, it literally don't never be for no real shit. When Crawford got knocked, it was because he was raising hell, I think, at a jewelry store or a car dealership. You know what I mean? It was some shit like that. But it wasn't no, yeah, he's smacking up the broad in the... Like, no, bro. Like, who you think... You're not going to get no brownie points for that.
Rum cake. Rum fruit cake.
This is rum. This is Caribbean rum fruitcake. It's not bad. Too much mint. It's taken away from the flavor. The mint is overpowering the other fruits that's in the fruitcake.
The salt is rum. Wow.
It's not bad, though. It's not bad. I had worse rum cake. But, you know what I mean? Like, when he get knocked, it don't be because he fought 5 guys at the club. When he get knocked, it don't be even a gun possession charge. Not that I'm promoting gun violence. I'm not. I'm saying that when he get knocked, it's always the same kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's always the same kind of shit. And it's a lot of guys that's going to look at that and they're not going to be with that shit. And I said that before. I said that, a part of the reason that Floyd sometimes got a lot of hate is because you hit that woman. You don't understand, and a lot of people don't want to understand that it's men out there. They not gonna respect you never off of that shit. They not never gonna give you pass for that shit. You know what I mean? Shout out to Will. What was your impression of the 911 call, Jules? I could hear the fear in her voice. I disagree that he was never taught to not hit women. He just wanted to hurt someone who wouldn't swing back for him. Well, the main assertion, and what often offends men about these kind of situations, at least I think, in my humble opinion, is because it's some coward shit. Like, why you going, like, bro, like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why? And that's usually the part of it, I think, that offends a lot of guys. Like, why would you do that, bro? Like, why? It's a lot of shit you could do. You know what I mean? Like, you do that, a lot of guys interpret that as some coward shit. That's what I think makes a lot of guys angry when they hear about those kinds of stories. Drew says, sources say Ennis will have with Karen Pikachu. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of us. Look, like, for example, you know what I mean? A lot of the guys out there, I know y'all here. You were taught that under no circumstance do you hit a joint. And under no circumstance, if you got to go hit the sheetrock in the hallway and break your hand, well, so be it. If you got to go outside and walk, well, so be it. I'm just saying that it's better that you break your own hand than, striking a female. There's a lot of men that they were taught very early on that they have that understanding. You don't do that under no circumstance. If you that mad, remove yourself from the situation. And this kid, it's a kid, man. It's a kid. Every time he gets arrested, every single time, it's always a female.
But there are men that were taught that and they still done it.
No, they weren't taught. Because if they were taught, which is the action word, the verb, if they were taught, they would not be doing that.
If they were told or taught.
Teaching someone something is an action. If I teach you to fish, you know how to fish. If I teach you to write, you know how to write. If somebody told you to not hit girls, but you still hit girls, then you were not taught.
So how would you teach somebody?
Respect yourself enough not to, because it's not just about them, it's about you. Respect yourself enough not to. You a man, bro. You hit hard. You're not supposed to exhort that level of force. It's common. It's not common. That's not. I'm not gonna say it's common sense. He don't.
Yeah, I think that's where that comes from.
If you get buns off personality, you don't condone tank. Yeah, like that shit. Like I said, man, it's a lot of men, and obviously women. They're gonna have their say so on it. But just if you notice, it's a lot of men that they really don't like this kid. That's what it is. And I'll be noticing that there's another section of men that they almost be flabbergasted that it's men that like, nah, he a piece of shit. Throw the book at him. They shocked that it's men. Like, yeah, women drive us crazy. But you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And when you see that every time he get knocked, it's literally, it never, ever, it's not he took on 6 guys at the club. Nah, it don't be a gun charge. It don't be RICO law. It don't never be nothing like that. It's always some shit involving him and a girl. It's like, bro, like, come on, B. And then you duck Lomachenko. That's another thing that like, bro, you've been ducking smoke with real guys for a long time, and you smacking up girl. It's like, bro, it's obvious what your personality profile is. You know what I mean? Motherfucking Mr. T said manlet. He said manlet. Like a chicklet. Like, bro, like, motherfucker can't respect that shit, bro. Shout out to Chris Lovejoy, because he said that shit. I appreciated that he said that shit, because it hit different coming from another pugilist, from a professional boxer. They're like, no, this shit is not okay, bro. All your charges don't not never be no shit. Shit, I would respect you more for being a cocaine mule than the shit you be getting locked up for. Like, bro, you don't never do no real shit, yo. Yeah, like if he had like fucking pounds of cocaine in his booty hole, that would be more respectful. Bruh, stop hitting girls, bro. I was taught make sure you had a nice BB your team, even if you crazy chicks put hands. Yo, for real, B. That's some real shit. Like, he don't never get knocked for no shit that you be like, nah, you know that shit happens. You don't never get knocked for no shit like that. He get knocked for the weakest of the weakest shit. And it's like we're intended to believe, based on a paragraph that he wrote on Instagram that has since been taken down, yeah, everybody lying because we didn't see you put hands on that woman in that basketball game. We didn't. If you doing that in public with people around, what the fuck are you doing when the doors went behind closed doors? You can't control yourself in public. He took the joint and he hemmed her up like that. And then like you could see like he went for the neck. And it's like there's literally mad people around. He's at a basketball game. There's people all around him. You can't control yourself in public. So what restraint do you exhibit at home? It's common sense. It's common sense. Like now I don't believe shit you say,
Did
bro.
anybody come to her defense at the game?
The shit I'll say is this. I saw a lot of guys saying that, which I don't remove. I don't discount. Yes, some women are toxic. Who fucking with them?
Exactly.
Who nutting in them?
That's an excuse, though.
And it's guys that's coming to his defense. Like, man, I wish I could explain this shit to you, but I can't because it's just too complex. I had a guy, why you hate Gervonta Davis? So you missed the 17 minutes of me talking about all these different cases that he's had that is either about he crashed into a car, right? His license was suspended at the time. This was up there in Baltimore. Crashes into a car. The pregnant woman says, he saw me. We made eye contact. I was crying, asking for help, and he left me.
In the car, by
In the
herself?
car. In the car.
That he crashed into. He crashed into her and left her in her own car.
I'm like you really need Matlock on the case, bro? Need Perry Mason to solve the case? It's pattern behavior at this point, bro. Your mother failed you, bro. If she's the one who raised you, she failed you. And if it's your father, it's worse because what kind of piece of shit was he? I don't know who raised that little butterball, but he's a sack of shit. And I've always thought that. Sack of shit, you piece of shit. I hope you do jail time. I hope your career's over. I hope Showtime drop you. I hope they pull you from the fight because Rolly Romero, for example, Rolly Romero was pulled from a fight just based on accusations. There were no arrests, but there were accusations. The accusations were egregious enough that we can't put this guy on a show because then we're almost complicit with what he's being accused of. So they pulled the kid. He ended up clearing his name after the fact. The charges were dropped, whatever. However it happened, the charges were dropped. But if you could pull him off the show just based on what he was accused of, he wasn't arrested, then you should be able to pull this kid off this show because he was arrested. He was arrested. There is a 911 call. There is audio. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Stefan, if you listening. Stefan Espinoza, Mr. Virtue Signaling, Mr. Clean fucking Boxing. Tried to reschedule that Uskateki fight. You ain't about no clean boxing. You a dick eater. I don't like you. I hope you're listening. Like that shit? Motherfucker, you a fucking fighter, bro. Go fight Lomachenko if you mad, bro. Go fight Devin Haney. Go fight Teofimo. You don't be wanting to fight none of the real guys, but you cool going home and doing that shit. Motherfuckers don't believe shit you say.
Wasn't Tyson accused of the same thing?
Yeah, but I'll say this, which is why I believe Tyson. In all these years, this is the only reason I believe him. In all these years, his story never changed. And that's consistent with somebody like, look, man, whatever's whatever. I didn't do that shit. I could believe that more than, yeah, man, you just by accident and like Tyson didn't keep ending up in shit. No, he didn't. He didn't keep ending up in shit. Now he'll end up in some shit with some men. He'll keep ending up in some shit with some men. Hey, fuck that man up.
That wasn't the only domestic accusation she had against him.
Robin, look, man. I don't believe shit Robin Gibbons say, bro. I don't. Jail would be the best place for him. It worked for me, and I know it would work for him. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is force a man to sit in a pod to think about what he did and nothing else. Yeah, man, put that little butterball in jail, man. Put him in jail. Stop glorifying. There's no reason to glorify the shit that he do. Oh, because he a poor kid from Baltimore. You know how many fucking poor kids are from Baltimore? How many poor kids are from Harlem? What the fuck that got to do with you always doing some shit? What does that have to do with any poor kid from Baltimore? So what? Fucking poor kids up and down this motherfucker. So they can idolize him that's smacking up broads. Ain't that about a bitch? Nah, man, lock that little butterball up. Lock him up. Fuck his career. Fuck it. He wasn't fighting shit anyway. I know he's fully capable of doing it based on the past, but he's flushing his career playing Russian roulette with 2 court appearances plus 1. Oh, man. He is imploding at a faster rate than Adrian Broner. He is Broner 2.0 with an Intel Pentium processor. He is fucking up twice as fast. Fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? And the fact that I'm not going to say that there are men defending him, because for starters, the fact that you defending him, you not that off top. You got a little boy brain. Like, if you defend shit like that, you have a little boy brain. You gonna tell me you like watching him fight guys like Gamboa that much? Oh, shit. Let me post the link in the chat, man. Motherfucker's so high watching him fight Mario Barrios. He beat that Mario Barrios. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers acting like he Roy or some shit. Like, bro, he didn't beat shit. He don't be fighting shit anyway. You know what you like about him? That he got a bunch of fucking tattoos and shit like that. Because it ain't the boxing shit. Boxing is not with his career, B. Motherfuckers that really love the sport and watch it and support it and pay for it, they don't fuck with him because he don't fight shit. That just make it that much worse that there are real challenges that you could take and you don't take them. But you know what you do? Keep getting locked up for hitting girls. Throw away the key. Fuck them. Fuck them. Put them under the jail. Fuck them. Telling you, I told you, all them guys, that they come right out. As soon as you say something about Errol, they come right out. You better leave Errol alone. Man, if you don't get off his dick, man, I know what the fuck you got going on, bro. Ain't no boxing shit. The worst part is it was judge funded. Over here, I smoked a joint right beside a cop. Get that shit, Michael. Smoke that shit. He in Canada. They do that shit up there. Smoke that shit, Michael. Smoke it! Yeah, I mean, I'm about to post the link in the chat. Let me get your thoughts. Couple of questions about the fallout in reference to the potential collapse of the Hector Garcia fight and the potential collapse of the Ryan Garcia fight, because a lot of people feel he's not going to make it to the Ryan Garcia fight, that at this point, he has to do jail time. He has to. Drew, a word from a Capricorn. Let's hear it.
You know I've been having fun on Twitter fucking with Espinosa.
What's good, fellas?
How's it hanging?
Let's hear it, Drew.
I just find it funny, Jules, how
What's good, fellas?
the virtue signaling from Espinosa all the time, him and Al tweeting about all this other stuff, and radio silence today at a press conference. And if I'm Rolly, I'm calling a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yo, like the fans are insane. Like, I don't know if you guys were in the Boxing Voice earlier today, but a guy joined in and said, listen, I don't care what a man does in his own house. You know, if that makes him a better fighter, then let him do it. That's what he said, bro.
What?
That's what he said. Swear to God.
No, he said verbatim, if hitting bitches makes a guy a better fighter, I'm all for it.
That is fucking.
Nah, you playing. He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
No,
Yes, he did,
even Karma heard it. Karma put it on the TL too.
Wow.
Yes, he did. Swear to God.
That's that side of the boxing world.
Let me say this.
Wow.
Let me say this. Dick eating is at an all-time high, bro. It really is.
Ellie Archback.
Well,
That's high level dick eating. That's like Olympic level dick eating.
Shelton, a word from my fellow sage, because you know we're the oldest guys on the panel. Shelton, what do you think about this shit?
Hey man, look, I'm gonna say this, man. This guy had maybe I'm gonna speak from personal experience. when I was running the streets and doing what I was doing out there, only two things made me change my life. One was extreme pain. The other was extreme consequences.
Mm.
This guy keeps doing these things because he never suffers any consequences for his actions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that's going to help him, for me, from my perspective, the only thing that's going to help him is if they go and sit him down somewhere where he can sit for a few months or maybe a year and think about his life and how he's living it. Because obviously what he's doing right now is not working.
Nope.
If it was working, you would not have 5 cases in the span of 3.5, 4 years. This is the 5th time he's been arrested in the span of 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
True.
Can I say something
So
real
this
quick?
guy,
After show,
Go ahead,
go ahead,
bro.
finish, coach. No, what I was gonna say is Tank just
go ahead.
Tank confirmed what Jules me had been saying for years. He has no PR team. He has no attorney. He has none of the people that sit you down to do these things.
Yeah, but
And
you know what the other thing is, Drew? It's like this is another thing, right?
and real quick, Joe, real quick, he's been enabled. How many times have we? If I asked Espinosa,
Yeah, but
since
Drew,
he's been getting in trouble?
Drew, can I ask you a question? Do you have a PR team?
No.
I don't either. But do I need a PR team to keep my hands to myself?
Absolutely not.
You see what I mean? That I'm like, look, it's a lot of look, because I'm not advocating that he be a saint. Truth be told, nobody's really a saint. But it's like every time you get knocked, it really do be for some weak shit. Like you not doing no shit. You doing the like you just doing the bitch asses of the bitch asses shit. Like bro, like you ain't getting knocked for moving no weight. You ain't getting knocked for you had a gun charge and nothing like that. It ain't RICO law because you not no hustler. You a sports guy. You a sports guy that's trying to act like a street guy, which is common. A lot of fighters do it. The Chalo brothers, like you not street guys, be you sports guys.
But Sheldon said it. You said it, Sheldon. He's never had to face consequences from his team to Showtime. He's still given a platform.
And this is what I heard today. This is what fucked me up today, y'all. Check this out. Somebody had the audacity to say that Tank has typical Mike Tyson mentality.
No, he don't, because he not that. Because he
Mike
not
Tyson
that.
was really out there beating motherfuckers up.
That's the shit. Listen. When Tank out here hitting girls, Mike was in Brooklyn in the streets with Mitch motherfucking Green. All right, it's not the same. It's not the same, bro. It's really not.
Yeah, that's why he's calling Ryan out.
No balls. Yeah, Mike wasn't hitting no women. Mike was beating up on dudes.
Exactly. It was guys, the 2 guys in the elevator. Those was 2 guys he beat the shit out of in that elevator. In the streets, it was Mitch Green, another fighter that he
That
beat
other story, Jules, when he was about to beat up all the security that was fucking with Big Pun and Fat Joe, those was all dudes.
Exactly. And this is what I mean. But
the
this
only
is
exception with that is Robin Givens. But other than that, he was whooping dudes' ass, no problem.
But you and this is what I just told my missus, that I don't believe Robin Gibbons, and that's not a stance that I often take. I don't often take that stance, but the fact that this man's story has not changed in over 2 decades, that is compelling to me. That it has
that broad because her face was still intact. Her face was still intact.
Yeah, no, I believe they were abusing each other.
Her face would not be intact.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. The way that guy hits, I mean, you would see some clear damage on her if he did.
Clearly, because if Tyson was beating up Robin, he would have beat up Brad Pitt when he caught Brad Pitt fucking her.
Bro, is that real? Did he really?
Yes. Tyson even said that story. Tyson said that story.
He said he just laughed and walked out.
Look. Well, I'm gonna say this. Well, I'm gonna say this. Robin was a fine motherfucker. That's that. She was a fine motherfucker, and that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. But look, this the shit, right? I am with Sheldon on this, but I
Robin
guess,
or Hallie?
Don't do, bro. That's not a
Robin
question.
or Hallie and
That's
Boomerang.
not. That's not. Listen, don't play. everybody know the answer to that question. The real question I have for the panel. The real question I have for the panel is who here feels that he will actually see jail time as a result of this latest case.
I hope
do.
so. I
I
hope
do.
so.
Not
I
this
I
one.
think this
I
type
don't
of case.
think this one. I think he will receive jail time for the one on February 12th.
Yeah, because
Which is the one on February 12th, the Florida one?
No, the Florida one in
the
No,
February.
hidden
that's
one
the
where
Baltimore one.
he
The
Wait,
That's
Baltimore
the
one.
Baltimore
what
one.
are the two cases again? Can somebody explain? The one's
No,
the
here's it.
car accident?
Check it out. The December 10th one, the first domestic dispute in Florida, that got thrown out. That got dismissed with prejudice in December. So now he has the one in February, which is in Baltimore.
And that's the car accident one, right?
That's the car accident, hit and run. Yes, with the
Yeah.
14
And,
misdemeanor.
Drew,
and
Drew,
from what I
Drew,
understand,
all right,
from
one at
Baltimore,
a time. Drew, do you
He's-
feel that off of the vehicular accident one, the one in Baltimore, do you think he going to see time off of that?
I think, Jules, honestly, if the judge gets a hold of this new case and hears the audio and sees what's going on, I think he might 60 to 90 days in county.
That ain't
But-
shit. That ain't
But
shit.
it's something, you know what I mean, Jules? I think he might do. What do you think, Jules, if the judge finds out what happened with today?
I mean, I firmly believe that based on today's case and the fact that there's audio, which really doesn't help it. A shout out to Michael Montero because he said this. When an actual arrest is made, that means that there's probable cause. There's probable cause. Like, you don't just, like, remember, Rowley got accused of some shit, but he never got arrested because there was no probable cause to arrest him. Gervonta Davis was arrested for this shit. That means there was probable cause to put the cuffs on him. So I'm like, bro, they don't just, like, come on, B, like, this shit don't just be happening on its own now. Like, come on now. Like, it don't just happen on its own. So the fact that he actually got knocked for it, I'm like, yeah, he might see some time. He might see some time.
Plus, the
And see,
prosecution
now
doesn't have.
it's up to the DA. It's up to the DA to decide if they want to pursue it. And if they decide they want to pursue this case, they don't even need her testimony. They can pursue it just on his jacket alone if they choose.
Exactly. Just based on his priors. It's at this point, it's a pattern of behavior. It's like, bro, this ain't your first fucking rodeo. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. We don't gotta get Perry Mason in here. This is clearly a recurring theme in your home life. So yeah.
Well, plus keep in mind, like, he just had one dismissed not too long ago. Now the prosecution's like, yeah, look, see, like, it just happened, and now he's doing it again.
Bruh, I think he got to see some time. I'm gonna go to Danny Garcia. I'm not talking about Danny Swift neither. For those that don't know, I'm gonna go to my man DLG. Does he see time off of this?
Unfortunately, I share a name with Swift. I would think he should see time, but as we saw, another case got dismissed. He says he doesn't have a lawyer, but obviously somebody's doing something for him because the other case got dismissed. The other prior acts, if he has a good lawyer, they can try to get it dismissed or stricken so that they can't tie the information from another case to this one. But again, the things are too similar. If the prosecution has better lawyers, they can get that included. It's just a matter of who has the better lawyers.
If he has no defense, Danny, because that's what he's saying. He's saying
he
ain't
said he
got
has no lawyer.
He said he ain't got no lawyer.
So he should be doing time because I can only see him getting off if Heyman or somebody gives him legal support. Because if there's video of you leaving a scene of a crime, you left your car there. It's not like you left a rental there. You left your car. The witness, the person you hit, said she saw you. There's cameras you leaving. There's video evidence. It's hard for that to get thrown out. The 911 call, like, again, there was evidence. She was bleeding. They had to take him in. If cops see that, they have to take him in. The only thing I found suspect was they considered it a closed hand slap. That's a punch.
That's called
a punch. Yeah, like I don't know what I never heard that shit before.
The only reason they said it that way was I take that whoever arrested him is a Tank fan, just because it doesn't sound as bad. Oh, he slapped her versus he hit her, he punched her. And I'm the type of person, I have this mentality. I call it my own you should have known better rule.
Yeah.
If you're a cop and you're doing dirty shit, you should get more time. If you're a doctor and you're doing drugs and you're doing shit you're not supposed to, you should know better. You're a fighter. You should know better.
You should know better.
Somebody. So you should get punished worse. That's
You
my
could really hurt somebody.
You know, God bless him, man. He's following the Floyd Mayweather way of living.
I mean, that's his mentor, right?
That's his mentor, man. Hey, look, like people didn't fuck with Floyd after he hit his girl. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about his diehard fans who he can go kill a man and they'd still be on his side. I'm talking about like the majority of people, like they didn't fuck with Floyd after he hit his wife, and by that same extent, I would imagine, unless the times have become so we become so disenfranchised with everything, I would imagine people would start to like look at him and like this, like, man, you hit a pregnant woman and left the scene. That was one thing that's going to court because she's pressing charges. You got like 3 domestic cases going on. Like, come on.
You talking about?
Man, when he
But
said
you
he
talking
wanted to
about
be like
mainstream?
Floyd, he wasn't kidding. He really wanted to be like Floyd.
But you talking about mainstream people who in the mainstream in mainstream life, they'll stop fucking with it. But if you listen to these YouTube streets, they making all kind of excuses for this dude.
And that's why I often like to remind people that social media is not real life. Social media is very much insulated, and it breaks down into clicks. Whereas in reality, most of the boxing fans, or at least a lot of the boxing community, they may not be on Twitter. They may not be on YouTube. The paying customers, the guys that pay for the fights or pay to go to, not all of them are on Twitter or YouTube as much as someone else. So it's deceptive to where you always see guys and girls on YouTube talking about boxing, but that doesn't necessarily always reflect the paying public. So when it comes to Floyd, if you're on social media, you might find a couple of guys that they're willing to overlook that. But in the real world, it's a lot more people that are not willing to overlook that. That no, bro, you can't be out here doing that. And when it's Tank, I feel it's worse with Tank because we keep hearing about it. He don't never get knocked for no shit. It's always some girl shit. Like, you always hitting girls out here, bro. You don't get knocked for because you fought 5 guys at the club or because you beat up 2 guys in an elevator like Mike. Nah, you don't get knocked for shit like that. It always be some shit like this. Always.
Didn't he threaten to shoot a girl? Was it Ari, right?
Yeah, it was Ari. Ari says she left Twitter because he threatened to shoot her.
To shoot her in the face.
Like, yo, you're not no street guy, Butterball. You're not no street. You don't sell nothing, bro. You sell fight tickets, bro. You're not no street shooting people in the face. Get out of here, bro.
To just go off what you just said, how Twitter and then mainstream world are different. Take a guy who happens to also be an athlete who was much more known than Tank. OJ Simpson. I'm not comparing a death to punching someone in the face. What I'm trying to say is that even though he was found innocent, people around him stopped associating with him. A majority of the walking public, disassociated with OJ. That was a guy who's found innocent. So there's a big difference between something like, your couple of, small amount of fans on like a social app to what the rest of the world is going to see. And what the rest of the world is going to see is a guy who's now been claimed twice that he's beat up a woman and he left a pregnant woman at a car wreck. So again, what Twitter followers are going to say is one thing. What the mainstream public is going to view this guy as is going to be completely different, and not in a good way.
I have a question. I have a question to ask you, Jules. Do you feel like if we have that case and it becomes publicized, do you think we will see if the glove does not fit, we shall acquit?
Nah, because the pattern. See, the thing with Gervonta is the pattern is too well established, and that's what at least makes the case stand out to me. That you never get knocked for no shit. When Plaxico got knocked after the Super Bowl, it's because he shot himself in the leg.
Bringing that Plaxico thing, the thing that made me laugh was there's laws for transporting weapons across state lines. And the thing that they did was he had a good lawyer, and they switched it to attempted carrying a weapon. How do you change that to attempted? You got caught with the gun. How
Well, the shit is nobody got hurt but Plaxico. So it's like you fucked up.
You a dumbass. They sent him to jail for being a dumbass.
He's Cheddar Bob. He's Cheddar Bob.
They figured he embarrassed himself enough that he didn't have to go to jail because he already.
Can I ask you? No, but he was the real life Cheddar Bob. Like he didn't hurt nobody. He hurt himself.
Can I ask you this, Jules?
Good.
Are you at all surprised about the amount of dick eating from men within the situation?
No,
I'm like, I am, but I'm not.
No,
It's not no different than the Tory Lane situation with Meg Thee Stallion. I saw so much digging out of that situation too, so it don't make no difference.
I'm gonna say this with the Tory Lanez, with the Gervonta Davis, right? And it's not encouraging for the next generation of men. This generation is different from everybody that's on this panel because nobody on this panel represents this generation, to be real with you. This generation of 20s and 21s. These guys, they got these traits that, oh, it's okay for me to do some like female shit. Like, no, it ain't. But that's what this generation breeds. You know what I mean? These fucking feelings. Like, you're always in your feelings. You got fucking feelings. You need people to feel sorry for you. You need to be a victim. That's some shit that I see that really is specific and exclusive to this generation. Because I know in my generation, it wasn't like that. It just was like, no, it wasn't, bro. It wasn't. At minimum, you thought, well, if everything's fucked up, every man for himself. So I'm going to do you dirty. You know, at minimum. Yeah. But it wasn't feel sorry.
Well, see, let me say this, Jules. Let me say this. My man just brought up that Tory Lane shit, right? See, in our generation, there is no way fathomable that a man is pulling out a gun because two women are fighting.
On a joint, fam. Really, I gotta get the hammer out. I can't control this shit.
Because two broads is getting, you can't break that shit up. What type of bitch ass nigga are you?
Man,
what type of bitch ass motherfucker are you that you gotta get a gun for two women?
Fighting, it better be a squirt gun.
You need to go to jail just for being a bitch ass motherfucker.
Exactly. You know what Tory should have been doing, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's the truth. It's what I would have did. I'd have been waiting for a titty to pop out. All right, fuck.
That's it.
The titty gonna pop out, and I'm here. I am here.
You let them get tired. They're gonna stop. You bitches get in the car. Let's go.
So here's
fellas.
Jules on the sideline talking about, look at them titties.
So
fellas. Speaking of titties, this is where we are with this generation. Hooters is closing down to rebrand because they said this generation of men are not into titties.
Yeah, they like.
Yeah, we like ass. We like ass.
No, we don't like ugly bitches. Have you seen the bitches at Hooters? They ugly. We don't like ugly bitches.
Nah, everybody stop. And I've been this way as long as I've been alive, as long as I've been on this planet, all right? Titties are overrated. I'm sorry.
No,
ass and thighs saves lives. Ass and thighs saves. Look, I was a big Rihanna fan. Rihanna used to have 2 bee stings. I didn't care about that because she had all that fucking ass and all them thighs. And I'm cool with that, all right?
Who was that?
Rihanna.
Who?
Rihanna.
Yeah, Rihanna got ass and thighs. Yeah, she got ass and thighs. Yeah.
All right. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that you can't appreciate a titty. Of course you could, but you cup a titty, suck a titty, and that's where the buck stops. Now, ass and some thighs and some thighs, the flesh between the thigh and the ass.
And plus, with the Hooters deal, we just don't like ugly bitches. Have you seen the bitches at Hooters?
I've never even gone.
No, the one that I'm telling you, the one that was here in downtown LA, they wasn't ugly.
They wasn't cute though. I've been there. I got my money back.
No. What about the Hooters?
Drew, what the fuck? At any point when I'm listen, Drew. At any point when I'm eating these wings, is a titty going to actually pop out?
No.
For my food.
I'm asking you, is a titty going to pop out?
Wouldn't that be
I
nice
mean, if you go in there for the wings and not just a drink and watch the game, no.
I'm just saying I don't see the point. All right, now I could tell y'all. I went through a restaurant in New York. This was way downtown, past the number streets. It was a restaurant full of Russian joints. That was 10 times better than Hooters by far. Because all I see about Hooters is they wear the tight Hooters shirt with the skirt. This place I went, nah, son, that shit was different. All right, that shit was different. So if you just looking for decorum, there are better places to go to eat than Hooters. Honestly,
damn, Jules, it sounds like you went to one of them Russian mafia joints.
Well, it was all I could listen. All I remember about this place, because I only ever went there once. it was like a botanical garden on the ceiling. There was like plants and shit around and leaves hanging and shit like that. And it was quiet. It was secluded. It was a part of Manhattan that I was not even familiar with. And I'm from Harlem. Like, I know Manhattan, but I didn't know this place. And it was just it was just really fucking nice. And naturally, I always order Italian food. Like, if there's anything Italian on the menu, I'm gonna eat it. Like chicken parmigiana, I'm gonna eat it. Fettuccine, I'm gonna eat it. That's what I ordered.
He said parmigiana.
So
have good food.
Good, man.
The weasel broke his Twitter silence right now, but it has nothing to do. It was someone saying you guys fired Paulie Malignaggi for words, and Tank's doing all this, and he addressed that. He didn't address Jules.
Who was
How
this?
do they?
Who was this?
Now I got a question, Jules. Are they gonna? What happens next week if the pay-per-view pressers, the grand arrival, all that bullshit?
Drew, there's no way they can do this fight, bro. There's
I
no
don't think so
way,
either,
bro.
They could.
Oh, they gonna do it.
Booth and
Oh,
If they do this fight,
they're gonna do it.
they're gonna have a lot of
Yeah,
explaining
you-
to do.
You
Wait,
underestimate
I
how
wanna go to
cynical
Candace.
these
I want to
promoters
go
are.
to Candace. I want to go to Candace.
Yeah, go to
On a
Candace.
scale- I want to on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you believe that this fight is going to happen?
Fuck no. Because like you said, with that Romero situation, they pulled him out because it was alleged. And like I said, it's just like he said, she said. But Gervonta, this is a different issue because maybe remind you, this ain't the first time he put his hands on a woman. He put his hands on a baby mama, and they caught that shit on tape.
And he
So it's not the first time he did that shit. But I would say this: if they go through with this, Stephen, it's gonna make Stephen Showtime boxing. It's gonna make them look bad as a motherfucker in this whole situation. It's gonna make them look even worse.
I cannot fathom that this fight goes forward because there is actually an arrest. That's one. There's actual audio of the 911 call where the victim claims that he was trying to kill her. At this point, it's not even about whether it's true or whether it's false. This is far too egregious for you to act like it's business as usual.
This ain't no mere
Clearly.
accusation, man.
Let me
And
ask
I
you
don't-
something.
and
Do you
then next
remember?
week.
Do you remember what
how you
Jimmy
gonna-
Johnson
go ahead.
said back in the 90s? You remember what Jimmy Johnson said
What he said?
about how you treat the team? He said, "I treat everybody equal, but I don't treat everybody the same."
But if you guys remember, they didn't poleaxe that fight. They basically pressured him into pulling out. So I think they might do the same thing with Tank. That's why he's saying, "Oh, I don't even want to fight anymore."
You know,
I
Rolly.
wouldn't even watch that shit.
Here's the problem with that. Rolly is not Tank.
That is true.
Well, yeah,
That
that
is
too.
true.
I don't discount
This
like how
fight is gonna
cynical
happen.
Steven Espinosa is. I'm sure he's still wanting to make money, no matter how much he pretends to
This
care about
fight
these
is
issues.
gonna happen.
Shelton,
It's gonna happen.
So you telling me? So I want to get it clear. You're telling me that you believe the fight will go through in spite of everything that is happening.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Because you know why? Because his fan base is still gonna come out.
Yeah, the woman beaters already bought their tickets. That's their like target audience.
I'm gonna
He's
tell you,
still gonna come out.
for the
They're
next
still gonna come out.
Sources,
Still
I
gonna
have
make
a
money.
source that said they're contemplating pulling him and putting Jerron on a regular Showtime.
Let me read the super chats. Will says that
Go ahead,
Drew
bro.
is a legend. Will says that Drew is a legend. 1 foot out the door says, "Happy New Year, supporting the real boxing folks." I appreciate you. Appreciate that. Got another super chat. Let me get to it. Mr. Calderon says, "Man, if they go through with the pay-per-view fight, I hope mainstream media cancels Showtime and PBC Boxing." And see, that's the implication that I see. That you literally, I just can't see you going through with this like it's business as usual, like nothing is going on. This is a little bit too hard to ignore. A 911 call where a woman is saying, "Yo, he gonna kill me." Nah, fam.
Hey, Jules.
Jules,
Hey,
at
Jules, I
this
say
point,
the card.
it's PBC though. It's Showtime.
The card goes on, but Tank ain't gonna be on it, man.
I say
These are the most cynical people in boxing, so you can never like count it out that they'll continue with him on the card.
Honestly, the best
it
thing
should be
that they
taken
can
out
do-
of. It should be taken out of Showtime's hands. The athletic commission should suspend his license, and the sanctions body should not sanction the fight. Then
Right.
Showtime has no choice but not put the fight. Because why is
Right.
Showtime
That's
the
the
only one on
only
the?
way.
You can't put
That's
a,
the
you,
only way the fight don't go on. That's the
but I'm
only way it
saying
happens.
you can't put a fight on. It's in New York. You can't. It's going down in New York, right?
It's in DC. Yeah, I thought it was in DC.
Oh wait, it's in
It's
DC.
in
All right,
DC.
Well,
all right. It's in DC. It's in DC. But this is my thing that, bruh, it's an affront to the judicial system. He got arrested for this. Even if there wasn't a conviction, he got arrested for this shit, bruh. So it's serious enough that you had to put the cuffs on him. You can't do this fight.
Question to you guys: do you honestly think Showtime is gonna want to be associated with someone who was a woman beater?
No.
I don't.
In this climate, no.
They been. Why would they change now? They been.
Because this is
They
different.
were Floyd. They was
Listen,
like they were Floyd.
Wait. It wasn't no Me Too movement in 2014. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't that Weinstein, that Epstein, anybody named Steen. All that shit wasn't going on then. It's going on
Goldstein.
now.
We got a major different climate today compared to back then. I mean,
Well, not only but not only that,
climate,
not only that, Showtime also, is already on shaky skates as it is, because who knows what the hell's going to happen with them when it comes to Paramount. They don't want to look even worse. So yeah, they have to. If they've got a safe face, like you said with the climate, they got to pull this fight out. They got to look good.
They got to pull it.
I don't see it, man, because I just don't see it because the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, they all have commissions.
Shelton, it's
they
not
have their league.
Shelton, those are bigger sports that have a bigger financial return than this. This is not that big a fight, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is, Jules, what I'm saying is this: boxing is unregulated. There is no commission. There is nobody that is forcing
still
the rules
pulled
of boxing.
Rolly, bro. In spite of all of that, they pulled Rolly off of some he said and some she said, bro.
But do you think they really care?
Because
about
Rolly
that fight,
wasn't the
honestly?
star.
Yeah, Rolly's not the star.
Tank was the star. Rolly wasn't the star. Rolly was replaceable.
Stand and they wouldn't have gave a shit.
Rolly was replaceable easily.
Wait, I have a question. I have a question.
All right.
Asking. I was just gonna ask, like, how would this work in terms of like the time frame? Like, this is cutting it really close, isn't it?
It's only 2 weeks out. It's less than 2 weeks, bro.
Exactly. So like, it's cutting it very
7th.
close.
So I say,
January 7th.
What do you guys think of them putting Boots and Rashidi as the main event for regular Showtime, not pay per view?
I think this is a blessing in disguise. Like, Gervonta is the exact opposite of Gervonta. Like, the dude is a devout Muslim, clean fighter, doesn't drink or smoke. Like, you should be promoting that guy instead.
That's the same dude. That's the same dude that's he's in the gym like 10 months out of the year too. So that's a dude who's always ready to go. But I got
Jules, isn't it Boots and Karen fighting?
Karen Chukatsian, bro.
I got a question.
Yeah.
As a
That's not gonna be a main event fight.
As a Ukrainian, I'm sad to say I don't even know who Karen is.
Listen, bro. All I'm gonna say is this. In all honesty, you can't have a guy, a repeat offender, who's known for hitting girls. Honest to God, you can't treat it like it's business as it really. No, it's not. Like really, it's not. The woman on the phone with 911 in the audio, she's saying, "Yo, he gonna kill." You can't act like that's not regular, bro. Like this is.
I agree.
Yo, did you
100%.
see his tweets? She's saying she's lying in the phone call. Like,
Bro, he's saying he got set up.
Yeah, who set him up? Who set him up?
And I'm gonna tell.
Who set him up?
And look, this is the other shit. It's kind of like if you got a friend, because I've experienced this. You got a friend, and he keep coming to you with the same problem. If you keep doing that to me, I'm gonna say that's you. That problem, whatever's good, that's you, bro. That's your fault. Yeah. This shit, you know why? Because this shit don't happen to me. I don't believe the shit that you saying. That this shit just no. Some part of this has to be you. And as much as I understand that, yeah, there's toxic females out there that'll take advantage of a situation. This is not that, bro, because you've been caught up with this shit before. Nah, son, this is you. But you got a thing. You got some kind of thing for hitting girls, bro.
But not only that, then okay, let's take it one step farther. So then, let's just say that these women are provoking. I mean, he's getting angry. You're the one who's picking to spend the time with these people. So you're picking the wrong people to be associated with.
Bro, I'm gonna say this: when Chris Brown got knocked for the Rihanna shit, right? right? A lot of people said, well, look, she was hitting him in the car and she was hitting him in the head with heels in the face. And my stance was the same. Bruh, take that, get on the shoulder. If you on the highway, pull over to the shoulder and walk. I'm sorry, bruh. Like, you're not going to tell me a circumstance or a scenario where you can't take a couple of punches to the face from a female. I'm sorry, like, nah, fam. Like, that don't even make sense, bruh.
We all agree.
Look at my septum. Deviated septum. I got kicked in the nose, bruh. All right? So don't tell me that you can't take a couple of punches from a female.
Well,
I'm
the
like, nah, bruh.
But also, like, you know how many of these like superstar boxers that aren't getting fucking falsely accused of beating women, or, you know, legitimately accused of beating women? Like, where's all these accusers for AJ and Canelo and all these other guys?
Regardless,
Exactly.
It's only him. He's the common denominator.
Let's not relegate this to being, oh yeah, this is a boxing. No, it's not, because I don't hear people accusing Canelo or Anthony Joshua of this shit. I don't.
Regardless,
Trying to tear down a black man, they say.
You are, as a human being, responsible for 100% of your actions and how you respond. It's your responsibility for your response and how you deal with the situation. Nobody else, regardless if it's boxing or not.
All I'm saying is, let's say, because look, there's situations, things happen. I get it. But you as a man, all right, if you can't take a couple of two pieces from a female and just leave, all right, then yeah, something wrong with you. Because I expect you to be able to take those from a man, let alone from a woman. Let alone.
All I know is Ryan Garcia is coming out smelling like a rose after this situation. Because he was right.
I'm so glad. Candace, if this whole shit fall apart, right? Let's just say the whole shit fall apart and the April shit is dead. What the fuck does Ryan do?
That's a good question. Rolly? Rolly? Maybe
Because Ryan ain't got no plan B. That's for damn sure.
Damn, and he already turned down the fight too, so he can't even be active. He already turned down a tune-up, so he can't even be active next year.
Zepeda. They'll give him Zepeda.
What is he gonna do, bro? He's not. Listen. Even that Zepeda is too risky. Bro.
Yeah, he's the first woman Tank couldn't get his hands on.
Oh shit! Let me read the super chat. Nate Alien says, so do you think that Davies goes straight for Ryan after this drama is over, or does he retry Hector, or does he find another cherry? And Nate, all I'm gonna say is, me personally, exempt from the panel, me personally, I think he's about to see time. That's what I think. It's hard.
Let's hope so.
I honestly feel like, yo, you got to see Tom now. Like, you lucky that the car accident shit drug out, because that shit is some old ass shit, being real. That's from 2020. The fact we coming up on 2023, you ain't see no time. So I'm like, you lucky off of that shit. That's 14 felony counts. But now you smacking up. All right, bro, you need to see some time, bro. You do.
Man, my boy Eddie Hearn is safe.
Bro, look, man.
Bro, Eddie got out clean this week.
Safe. He is
safe.
Maybe Tank is signing with Matchroom.
He can deflect off this shit easily.
Nate says, by the way,
Sky's the
cheers to
limit.
everyone sipping my whiskey, playing GOW, God of War, and listening to the real. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, man, like it's just like I said, in this climate, it is a little bit hard to imagine that you can have this much out there and you don't see no time and you actually get to fight and make money. Nah, fam, I can't see it, man.
That's a little far-fetched.
Do you think if they do the fight, if they do the fight, do you think the numbers actually go up? Sadly, because it's like a
no, because you gotta remember this, right? See, Tank wasn't selling like that to begin with. What the fuck does Hector Garcia? And I'm not knocking him as a fighter, but I'm just being real. That fam, you don't even have Hector. Don't have fans. What fans he got, bro? What fans?
Bro, you're underestimating the Broadway Joe bump.
Oh my god.
Oh no, dude, you underestimated Ellie Sack.
Let me say this. Let me say this. It's been months since I've seen anything on FS1 and ESPN about boxing.
Bro, they
This
didn't
shit
even want
has
to
been
ask
on
Hector any
FS1.
questions at the press conference.
This shit has been on FS1 and ESPN about Tank getting arrested all fucking day. I'm looking at it right now.
So wait, Shelton, tell me. Are you saying that because the sports networks are not saying nothing, that it won't affect the numbers?
No. I'm saying because they are saying something. They usually don't.
Okay.
They are saying something. This shit's been going across on the ticker all day long. That's going to increase
Yeah, I've
the
been seeing this
viewership
everywhere
if
too.
they allow him to fight. Yes.
Brother, they can't do this thing, bro. Then they can't do this thing. The most that I can say is, listen, irrespective of how us boxing degenerates that follow the sport closely, irrespective of how we feel, in a general sense, Manny Pacquiao lost an Adidas deal because of some shit that he said. Rolly got pulled out of a fight because of some shit a girl said. You
What did Manny say?
Manny said you gotta. Manny said, look, I ain't gonna say that shit because I don't want nothing to happen to me. Fuck that. I
He
want
said
that.
something about that lifestyle, bro. We'll say leave it at that.
Man, he said
something
he
about that
didn't
lifestyle.
agree with certain alternative lifestyles.
All
Right.
I am saying is if you could pull people out of a show, if you could cancel endorsement deals or pull people out of a show based on shit motherfuckers said, bro, you actually got arrested. You got arrested. Nah,
So
we
let me
can't.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. What endorsement deal does he have?
Read that.
Say it again, Shelton. Say it again, Shelton.
What endorsement deal does he have to lose? He doesn't have
None. But
He has Box Raw.
bro, come on.
What's that?
Bro,
What's that?
It's like a boxing brand. Yeah, they make like fucking tracksuits and shit.
Nobody cares.
Hey, Jules, don't ask me brings up a good point. He said, remember, Tank threatened someone recently and posted, I ain't scared to catch another case.
Yo, he threatened Two-Tone the Superstar. He said, for you, I'll catch another case.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Bro,
that.
Tank is the Joker, bro. This motherfucker is a menace.
I'm like, why is he
Oh,
coming
man.
after fake DJ
Hey, look at that
Academics?
super
man?
chat, man.
Can I say this though? Like, I feel like I need to say this. Everybody mute your mics. Everybody mute your mics for real.
Okay.
Look, just because you poor doesn't make you a street person. That don't mean you do no street shit. You just fucking poor. And Tank, it's like he think that because you from Baltimore or whatever, like, bro, you don't move nothing, bro. You don't do nothing, bro. You're not a street person. You just a retard. And I think that distinction needs to be made because I feel like it's a lot of people in this era that claim to be A, B, C, and D. And like, no, you not. Like, you not that, bro. Like, you a sports guy. You are a sports guy. All right? You sports. You not fucking Chapo. You ain't fucking Escobar. You a sports guy, bro. At minimum, you got a couple of hammers that ain't got serial numbers on it. So what? You are not a street person. Stop. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Jules, read that super chat, man. That's funny.
Motherfucking here's the Tank Turner for messing it up for all the fans. Thanks a lot. Shout out to Ring.
Turner.
Shout out to Ring. I'd be shocked and confused if Showtime Boxing did not pull criminals in the cards. But Ben had to. Yo, this is what I mean. Ben test positive for a little bit of performance enhancing drugs. Everybody lose their mind. But Tank is out here smacking up girls and crashing in the cars with pregnant women. Yeah, like what the fuck?
Big probably gonna give Davis an edible arrangement thank you bouquet because now he ain't the pariah anymore, man.
The shit don't make. Where are our priorities as a society that there was more of an uproar that kind of been tested positive for infinitesimal traces of what might have been performance-enhancing drugs, but Tank in real time is actually hitting women. Like, nah, bro, our priorities is in the Tank, B.
Hey, Ray,
Somebody
doesn't
we
Marcus
know,
Brown have a bunch of
somebody
domestic
we know
cases?
was saying that he also
Yeah, he
hit
got a
the
lot of them
baby.
shits, though. He really do, though. He got a lot of them shits. Him and
he still-
Kovalev. Him and
he still gets
Kovalev.
fight. The
Hey,
Kovalev
Jules.
thing is funny because he was supposed to fight Kovalev, and Kovalev's team said no because he had a case pending, and that's why they went to fight Storm Alvarez. And then Kovalev winds up with a case himself.
Somebody we know was saying that Tank actually, when he hit the gal, he also hit the baby too. I don't know how true that is, but they were saying it. Somebody.
No, I seen that. I seen that shit. I seen that shit.
Okay.
And
Yeah, his Tank's nutritionist is trying to go to bat for him. Like, bro, you're getting paid. No one's gonna believe you,
bro, the main shit is forget about what is being said. Common sense dictates, right? Look, common sense, just plain old common sense. These kinds of accusations and allegations, they literally don't just happen by themselves. They really don't, though. Like, honest to God, they don't. It doesn't happen on accident. And the fact that this is a recurring theme in your life, come on, be like, we all guys out here and we know what be going on out here. Nah, son, this shit is not some shit that somebody making up, bro. This is you, bro. Like, for real though, like, this is you, bro.
The whole thing is this, man. People gotta understand this. There are some things that you do that money can't get you out of.
That's true too.
Can't get you out of it. And these people, no matter how flawed our system is, and we know our system is flawed and is geared against certain people, but eventually, if you keep going up in front of them people in them black robes, they get tired of you. They get tired of dealing with you.
That is true.
Like, look, we keep seeing you. So you obviously want us to do something to you because you keep coming before me. So you know what? We're gonna give you what you asked for. You want to go to jail, motherfucker? Here you go.
I'm agree with you. I'm agree with you because of this, right? The fact that the vehicular accident happened in 2020, and here we are coming up on 2023. There were 14 felony counts in that shit. You ain't seen no time yet, but now here you are again for some other Here you are again for some other. It's like, nah, bro. Like, nah. I just nah.
And if I'm not mistaken, like the victim of that, she doesn't want any money. Like she wants to see him go to jail, I believe.
Bruh, she got a busted lip off that shit. So I mean, really, like, it's like at some point, it's like, bro, we and he's saying he don't even got a lawyer. I'm wondering why is he saying that? So what you about to have a public defense?
Hey, Jules, if this
really not her though. If this card falls, the judge said, I don't want the deal. The judge said she didn't like the deal.
If you got listen, Shelton. If you got the judge mad, if you got the judge mad, it's over, bro. It's over.
Do not get the judge mad.
Tank's gonna be there with a tax lawyer.
Hey, if this card falls apart, Andrade is gonna get screwed over too.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, but that's
unlucky or what?
Bro, ain't that consistent with what we've been saying? This guy makes the best business decisions
all the time.
Bro, let Andrade headline the card now. That would be hilarious.
Two things I wanted to say about this whole fiasco. Andre got cooked on the Boxing Voice when he tried to downplay Canelo's resume. They pulled up Boxer, he just got cooked and lost signal. And
that was embarrassing, yo.
Yo, I keep hearing about that, but I haven't seen the clip. Can somebody get it for me?
It's embarrassing.
Joe's like, he was getting cooked. They're like, dude, he fought a prime. Ness went through the whole thing. He fought a prime Austin Trout. He fought a prime Lara that you said was boring. He fought a prime Triple G. He fought Bivol. He's like, how is John Ryder not a better fighter than Charlo, who's inactive? And that's why Andrade was just stuttering, and then they lost signal, and he never came back.
Because you know what this look. I want to say this.
Nestor Gibbs, I fuck with
look. Let's get to some boxing because we've been having a lot of fun. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? As a consumer of the sport, I'm tired of these fighters like Andrade that think they're God's gift to boxing for any reason other than you're fucking boxing. You have not fought nobody, bro. What is your problem? Nobody should have to come up to you and tell you Canelo fights people, bro. That's why people pay to see him fight. It's really not some secret or some mystique. It's simple. He fights in fights that people want to see. Where you want us to believe that Billy ain't shit. All I know is when he fought Billy, 76,000 fucking people showed up to see that fight.
A belt holder who was also undefeated too.
Like, what is it? Like, what does it take? Like, you don't like you telling yourself in the comfort of your own home that these people that Canelo fights, nobody wants to see them, even though he outsells you every single time. And he doesn't just outsell you, he outsells everyone in this fucking country. So what does it take, bro? Are you really that fucking delusional?
They are. They are.
You say I'm a 2-division champion. Wait. You say I am a 2-division undefeated WBO champion. Just tell me, what was Billy? What was Billy? Wasn't he that with a better resume at middleweight? Just with a better resume. Fuck that. With a better resume than you. He fought John Ryder when John Ryder was undefeated. He fought Chris Eubank when Chris Eubank was undefeated. He fought Andy Lee when Andy Lee was WBO champion. He fought David Lemieux when the bookies favored David Lemieux to beat him. And you keep telling yourself, he ain't fought. It's like, what's the matter with you, bro?
Like, Jules, when you see the clip, I think you're going to make just another relay segment to laugh at him after you see it.
I'm going to fucking have to.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why he thinks that. I'm going to tell you why he thinks that. He thinks that because he can see a guy like Wilder who got all this publicity and all this hype and never fought no fucking fight.
That's true. That's true.
That shit was so funny, though, that his kid said payday in the interview.
I heard that.
His kid's running around saying payday.
Listen, somebody need to get that clip for me because I haven't seen it, but I keep hearing about it.
Let me get it for you.
They said that I seen that people were saying Nesta Gibbs cooked him on the Boxing Voice, but all I seen was the shit where the kid said payday. Other than that, I didn't see where he got cooked. So I'm like, what the fuck was said that he got cooked? Because I didn't see.
You just gotta watch the whole
Hey,
thing.
Jules, you know what? If you make a video laughing at him, he'll deserve it at that point.
Jules,
And the funny thing is, the height of the hypocrisy, Jules, is him and Charlo want to fight nothing but fucking Euro bums.
That is ironic.
It is.
He ducked two of them. He was scared to fight two of them.
This the main shit that really bothers me. That people that delusional could be running around. It's like, bro, like you can't be this retarded. Like, seriously though, you can't be. It's not hard to see why Canelo draws. He's fighting people that people want to see him fight. If you were, this is the weird part. Andrade versus Billy Joe Saunders would be the biggest fight of Demetrius Andrade's career, by far and wide. When they were going to do that fight, that was the biggest fight of his career. No one you fought up until this point was better than Billy Joe Saunders.
But
no one.
What you just explained was pretty much the issue with boxing and why it's dying. All you have to do is take somebody like Wilder, who couldn't draw flies. You put him in there with a guy like Fury. They have a great scrap. It got people excited. They drew. People watched. They came back and watched again. The bottom line is this is very, very simple. You give the consumers what they want, win, lose, or draw, and they will come back and support you in tenfold. Trust me.
It's a fucking sickness because let's say Canelo doesn't fight Callum Smith, right? Callum Smith was WBA, Ring Magazine, and WBC Diamond Champion. If Jermall Charlo moves up and fights that guy, we'll never hear the end of it. Oh, he beat Callum Smith. He was Ring Magazine. He was fucking WBA.
And they would have every right to say that too.
They would, though. That's the weird part. But Canelo
because they're not
fucking retards.
Because they're not fans of boxing. These are not.
It's more than boxing, bro. They really want to fucking, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Let me tell you something. If Ellie
Nah,
arched
Jules,
back,
you made that point, Jules. How many of these guys really want to be fucked or fucked by Errol and Tank?
I said, look,
yo, let me tell you something. If Ellie arched back could go to jail for Tank, he would. Swear to God.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I'm being real. It's a lot of Lil Zane, Nokia energy in this generation. And just be, I ain't gonna say this shit because I don't want my video to get flagged. But that's really what I think is like, yo. A lot of y'all cats, y'all not fans of the fighting. Y'all not fans of the fights. A lot of y'all cats is just on some Nokia shit. To be real with y'all, like y'all some little weirdos.
Yeah,
little
man.
weirdos.
Them fools, man. Them
Nah,
fools
Ellie's not our generation
Them
though.
fools got the bed made up, the candles
Ellie's
lit,
not our
light
generation.
skinned,
But I heard Ellie
Stop
on
it.
the I heard Ellie on the spectrum. That's why I'm like, I don't say too much about Ellie because I heard Ellie on
in
the
the
spectrum.
70s porn music on cue, waiting for him to walk in the room.
Bro, imagine if Ellie like sticks up.
Like James Tony said about Ellie, man. He's just a Johnson sniffer.
He
to
is
his
though.
face.
Imagine if Ellie like sticks up a bank just so he can bid with Tank. That would be hysterical.
You gotta understand that you must not be able to read the room. The fact that you're even going up to bat for a man, let alone a fighter, but a man who is accused of hitting a woman, just stay out of it. Literally stay out of it, bro. You don't know if he hit that woman. Do you want to be the guy that defends a guy that hit a woman? Where are your morals, bro? Where is your code? The shit that's the people that raised you, whoever they are. Where's the shit they taught you, bro?
Man, even in like Chinese,
Bro, have you seen Ellie's like Instagram captions? He can't read words, let alone a room, bro.
I heard that he's on the spectrum, and that's.
I don't think he is. I think he's just stupid.
Bro, you can't be that stupid, bro.
Yes, you can.
Yes, he can.
even in war,
Look at Tank fans, look at Earl fans,
Jules.
Wilder fans, or any PBC fan. Look at them.
You underestimate the American public, Jules. Come on,
Bro. Also, Ellie Archback, that's crazy, bro. Y'all are hilarious.
Because it's like I said, it's certain shit. I think that most men draw the line at certain shit, and to the point to where they start to get pissed off. So it's like, bro, what you telling me that because he let you in the gym that you gonna vouch for everything he do, no matter what it is, no matter how many times you hear that he out here hitting girls and shit like that. Nah, because he let me in the gym, bro. Where is your man shit? Like, nah, fam. Like, I can't get behind that.
Let me ask you guys this: if you found out one of your really good friends was beating up on a woman, would you still associate and be friends with them?
Hell no.
That's the point.
I had a friend like that. I cut him off immediately.
That's the point I'm making.
But you know the embarrassing thing though is that like these people in the boxing media sphere who are in their 40s and 50s making excuses for a guy pushing 30. Like that image alone is cringeworthy.
Like he a little kid, like he not a little kid. Like
that's a grown ass man.
I'm gonna tell you what.
He's the size of a little kid.
It's because he little. That's why. Like it's because he.
But you know what it is also is they view the way he's
Benjamin Button.
They go
the way
violate
he's been
him in jail.
presented in the media is that he's basically like a little kid to Floyd. So they see him as that. They see him as like Floyd's kid.
Yeah,
so as a child.
He's like Hasbullah. I thought Hasbullah was like 5 years old. Yo, bro, he's like 20. He's like 30 or some shit.
Same height.
If you look, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Tank had the press conference with Rolly Romero. Bear in mind, this is a guy that's close to 30. He's wearing an Ash Ketchum hat, a jean jacket vest. You know what I mean? Some motherfucking dunks. And if you looked at him, you would never think, yeah, you know that dude is close to 30.
Yo, he was in the Garanimals, bro.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if he eat animal crackers. Cause I'm like,
He's the new face of Oshkosh Bagash.
Would he have a juice box with those animal crackers?
Motherfucker said Hasbullah.
They're the same height.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like I thought Hasbullah was like an actual like kid, even with his condition, but no, he's like 20 something.
Yeah, he's 22, I think it is.
Yo, motherfucker said Hasbullah. Like, yo, so you telling me Gervonta is the boxing Hasbullah?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. From what I was been hearing between Gervonta and Tiafimo, I just know the gene pool that they came from. They both got mental disorders in their head.
Hey, you
And
know
read
what?
it. They both, Jules. They both don't know how to read a fucking room.
I'm always gonna give this to Ryan. I hope Ryan is listening. I'm always gonna give this to Ryan. He pull them hoes, and I respect that about him.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
get that,
He don't
get
pull
that
out
shit.
No, but what I'm
Oh,
saying
he
about
said
like what
Tio.
I'm saying about Tio and Tank, bro. Like I know dope fiend babies when I seen them. I've seen
Man,
them.
Who would get a
Nah,
higher
let's
grade in
no,
speech
Jules,
class?
Jules,
Tio
keep
or
it a
Tank?
buck, Jules.
Hey.
Keep it a buck, Jules. When you was in Harlem eating them 50-cent chicken wings, you saw the dope fiend kids around.
Yeah, like,
Come on.
I'm a. Can I say this? Can I say this? Look, I wasn't surprised. I'm not gonna say I knew, but I wasn't surprised that he's a tweaker kid. Like, yeah, you a tweaker kid, bro. Now, Ryan, I don't really get tweaker energy from him, but Teofimo, oh yeah,
Yeah, Tio,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
I'm talking
That's
about
for
Tio.
sure.
Let me
Tio
tell you
and
guys
Tank, you could tell their gene pool is a brick short of a building.
Somebody threw chlorine in their gene pool. That's what happened.
bro. Somebody threw something in that shit. Like, with Tio out because he's unstable
We got
emotionally.
J-Lo, bro.
But you know,
Show the
Tank is
picture.
also
I want to see the picture.
Tank is also a tweaker kid. He said his mom was also one dope.
I gotta get
picture,
that.
man.
That
Somebody
is-
threw a
look,
Bud Light in Teal's
How many people?
I
many
fucking
people
love
on
that
this
shit,
channel
yo.
I'll
The
never
face
get
you make,
tired of
the face you make when the work is good.
Yo, the fact
How
his
many
dad, like,
people-
yo, I want y'all to do this. Just look at his dad, B.
Bro, I need
That's
the
the look of a
video.
man who doesn't have to pay his own mortgage. Look how excited he is.
Yo, bro, like, you need to chill, B. Like, what are you doing?
My favorite part is when he sees the camera. He literally he gets out of the way to go in front of his
Bro,
son.
he
That's so
dove in
funny.
front of the
To the
camera.
point that he
And yo,
cuts
and
his
that's
own
the
son off, man.
that's
cool.
the
That's just so
reality.
funny, bro.
Listen, that's the reality of the shit that always gets me. That there's no way that this shot happens without Lopez Senior seeing where the cameraman is. You see where he is, and you literally going to get in front of Teo. Like, fam, like, I don't know who you are, bro. Who are you, bro?
See, he
How
should
is
be
he not
in the
checking
back.
his dad?
How many
Tio
people?
should be in
How many
front.
people on this channel got kids? How many of y'all got kids?
I got two.
Okay, so you know what I'm about to say, Jules. Kids do not do what you tell them to do.
No, they don't.
Kids do. They do what they see.
Yep.
Right? They do what they see. And, I'm not making no excuses for this dude because I think this dude's a fucking idiot. But what do you think this dude has seen his whole life growing up? Because like Jules said, this dude is not no street guy. This dude been in the gym since he was 7 years old.
That's true. That
Sleeping
is
over
true.
motherfuckers' houses, sleeping wherever he could, eating whatever he could. He had a fucked up upbringing. So what do you think he's seen growing up?
But
the
I'm
reason
almost
he does these things is because he don't know nothing. That's all he knows.
I
He hasn't
agree
seen
with that.
life in
Can I say
years.
this? Can I say
I would
this?
agree with. Hold on. Can I just interject 1 second? Like, I agree with that analysis. I think it's true. But that's the difference between him and Shakur, is that Shakur did that and he hasn't gotten in trouble like that again. Like, Tank is 30 and still doing this type of shit.
I agree, and I'm gonna say this too. Can I say this? Can I say this? Look,
Go ahead,
right?
bro. Go ahead, bro.
I heard this said before. People in this generation are not raising children; they're watching children. Now,
Exactly.
my daughter, right? When I tell her A, B, C, and D, that's it. A, B, C, and D.
Right.
You know, my son is a lot younger, so it take more to get him to listen. But it's like, yeah, A, B, C, and D. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't really give somebody a pass on the premise that you don't do what you're told, you just do what you see. When if I tell my daughter A, B, C, and D, that's it. Like, that's it. A, B, C, and D, all right? Simple as. And she hear it, she absorb it, and go. You know what I mean? And not exclusive to discipline, because she's just like me. She in the drawing, and if I give her instruction, like, if you want to draw that picture, this is how you do it. A, B, C, and D. You follow that shit like that. Like that.
What about E, F, G, H?
I don't have to. This is well. Look, my daughter. It's my firstborn. She made me a father. If I don't have to tell her E, F, G, H. She knows. Literally, like, I'm not even playing. Like, she knows. I don't have to do that. Just like, look, it was a boy. This was the proudest moment I had as a father. Boy, call her name. I never taught her no right cross and nothing like that. Off top, I got the call. Yo, Sophia punched somebody in their face. What? Yeah, there's a boy called my name. Da 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 da. I was like, hold on. I was proud of the motherfucker, dog. I was proud of shit. She's just like, just go. Fuck all this shit. Just go. Like, nah, son, we not doing that. I was very happy about that. So I'm gonna just say, look, at the end of the day, the issues to the point that Drew was making, because it's why he brought it up. Some of these kids, they're tweaker babies. They are, though. And the instability that we see in their behaviors as adults stems from the fact that they're tweaker babies. They are
these are all 90 mid to late 90s babies, and what were the parents doing then?
That's what
Ecstasy,
I'm saying.
all that shit.
Like I look at the instability in Teofimo, and I tell myself that's amazing that this kid has that much talent, but because he's unstable up here, that's what creates all the problems. It's not his work ethic, because he got himself to a world title. So it's not your work ethic. You have that physically, but mentally something is just not clicking. Like, and then I look at Tank. It's not dissimilar with Tank. To like, fam, look, I don't like Tank as a person and all these things, but does he have the talent? Absolutely. And something up here is not clicking to where, like, fam, staying in trouble is not hard. It's not hard.
And then look at Devin look at Devin Haney, which I give Devin Haney shit for in the ring. Listen. I give Devin shit for in the ring shit, but this is how important having a father that is competent and is not leeching off you. Bill Haney's a wonderful father, and you don't see Devin getting no bullshit.
I want to say this about Devin. I don't care if he loses to Loma, because I'm gonna still be a fan of him even if he do lose to Loma. Right. What do I like about Devin? What do I like about him? He is literally out here getting all this goddamn money, winning all these goddamn belts, squeezing these fleshy asses with all this meat on them. All right, and that's all he doing. Man, you could lose that fight. That's okay. At least you had it. That's more I could say about Gervonta. He didn't want to know.
Yeah, he's willing to take the step to support the effort, man.
Man, Gervonta said no to Tevin Farmer, bro. Come on.
Bro, you notice how when he saw Tevin Farmer in public, nothing happened? He just got separated and literally nothing happened. He's just a whole bunch of talking and nothing happened.
He would have smoked Tevin Farmer, and he said no to that.
And I feel that I want to say this for the managers, the promoters, and the network executives. What you guys seem to not understand is fans don't care about a fighter being unbeaten. They want to see fights. I'm going to still be a fan of Devin if he loses to Loma. If he don't lose to Loma, I'm going to fuck with him. What? Because he gave me that fight. That's why I fuck with a lot of fighters. What the network executives and the promoters and the fighters themselves need to realize, perform. It's not just win, perform. You could lose in a great fight and people still gonna want to see you after that. They still gonna want to see, like, yo, he fought. Look, Prograis. I was just about to say that. Prograis lost to Taylor, but I still want to see some Prograis. Fuck that. Like,
because he's still a killer.
He's a killer. You know what I mean? And I feel like the network executives and the promoters, they saw the success that Floyd had, and they got attached to the unbeaten record. No, bro, we want to see fights, not the unbeaten record. We don't actually care about that. We just want to see fights.
Hey, Jules, Nonito says that you're missing super chats.
Oh, shit, yeah, I am. Shout out the ring. I'd be shocked and confused if Showtime Boxing did not crimp. All right, I read that one. Don Juan says Tank is the steward of Mad TV. Yeah, I got a bunch of super chats I got to read. Having a bad upbringing is not an excuse to put your hands on a woman. I hope they throw the book at his 3'5" ass.
And that's another thing. That's the thing that was pissing me off. Jules, how many of these Latin American fighters, Eastern Euro fighters come from shittier backgrounds?
Yeah, I mean, look.
And they not doing this shit.
That's what I'm saying. That like I told my wife at the top of the show, the people that teach, like you are taught as a man, as a young man, yes, you are taught not to do that under any circumstances. No, you do not hit women, bro. I don't. You
Like
do not hit
one of the
women.
first things you ever learn in kindergarten is keep your hands to yourself.
You literally, like that's not
Tank failed. He got held back.
cap. That's not cap. That's legit. You don't hit
the
her,
problem
bro.
with the problem with Davis is this though. The problem with Davis is not that. The problem with Davis is he cannot deal with life on life's terms. He can't deal with real life situations.
He's not a real man.
Emotional immaturity.
Right. He doesn't have the people skills to deal with real life situations.
I'm with Shelton. I'm with Shelton 100% because I noticed that. Like, look, I even agreed with Tank on what he said very recently about mental health and how it might be misappropriated. But I noticed that he could not find the words to communicate that. Like, he literally couldn't find the words to communicate the same thing that I was saying. And the only reason I understood it is because I get it. Like, you're saying what I'm saying, that there's people out there that use that shit to get out of responsibilities. But he could not find the words. He does not have the social skills for that shit. He really don't. But is that an excuse, though, to put your hands on somebody's daughter?
No.
I know Ellerby's happy he ain't got to deal with this shit.
We need Floyd. We need Floyd and Tank to read a book at the same time. See who can read it faster.
Nah, man, stop.
See who can read it faster, yo. That ass. I want to see
Nah, we need Teofimo versus Tank spelling bee contest. That would be crazy.
Nah, Teo will win that. Teo
might win that. He can read. He can read Budweiser. He understands those words.
I think he has the same problem though, where he
Bud
can't
Light, not
verbalize
Budweiser.
what he thinks.
Not with Teofimo.
They're not. You could tell the difference between them and Ryan Garcia, who's taken public speaking and acting classes to convey. Ryan's very good on. He might be a little fucking shit, but he's very good on camera.
See, this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I don't like about Ryan. This is what I really don't like about Ryan. The shit I don't like about Ryan is like he kind of sissified. He's a good fighter, man. Like being real. Like if I gotta be real. He's a good fighter for a sissified motherfucker. Like on some real shit. Like he can fight, man. You don't expect a little sissy like that to fight, but he fight.
He's working hard.
Bro, gay guys have hands,
He's extremely metrosexual.
Gay men can fight.
Hey, he's trying
And Jules,
Ryan
it's
isn't
like this. If we put Oscar De La Hoya in this era, Oscar would be that same metrosexual, but he'd be 10 times bigger. What I'm saying is, I'm not debating that. Oscar would be with all the models, getting his nails done. That's Oscar.
All I'm saying is this, right? Can I say this? Look, it's a rule. I remember it's a rule in Washington Heights. It's a rule in New York. Don't fight no tranny. Ryan is that tranny.
Now, why was that?
I don't think Ryan.
No, you can't do that. Why was that a rule?
Oh wow!
Ryan's not
Why
all
was
the
that a
way
rule?
fruity. He's like he's like an old woman. He has that type of personality. He's not gay. He's just an old lady.
Ryan is working hard for his official pair of fishnets from Oscar, man. Come on.
I'm just.
Oh my god!
Oh wait, I really look. I want to say this. Because this. I want to say this. What I like about Ryan, and that he's smart enough to do this. Believe it or not, Ryan is smart enough to read the room. He has situational. He knows that even though to these people I might look like a bitch, these people, this TikTok group, and these young people, I'm normal. You know what I mean? So he get away with a lot of shit that it's like, bruh. You know what I mean? And he can fight. Like I'm sorry to say for those that are disappointed, that kid can fight, man.
Yeah,
like
he's clean.
Good fighter. Like he really is.
That left hook is fast as shit, man.
That goes back to what you were saying, Jules. It's a rule in the joint. If you can't fight, don't fuck with the homosexual. Because once you get beat up by the homosexual, you lose all credit on yours.
You lose all
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you. And it's not cap. It's like on guard. It's not cap. It's real rap. Unless you got hands, Leave them trannies alone, man.
Yeah,
Someone
because
said
you know
golden
what?
showers
Some
for
of them trannies,
Russians.
They
I'm
will
some of
dead.
them, some of them
I see.
so-called trannies can whoop ass.
I seen many, and this was in Washington Heights. I know because she lived in my wife lived in Washington Heights. I moved up there. You know, all the young guys that congregate in front of this shit. Trannies in the building. Don't leave them alone. I seen many a young man get their motherfucking ass whooped on many a summer talking shit. Leave them alone. They'll fuck you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
They'll
look
fuck
what Errol did to Ugas. That was crazy.
Oh, yo, you wild. Yo,
That's dead wrong.
I'm just like, don't do it. Don't do it because if you lose that fight, bro,
You're gonna have to live it. You're gonna have to stay inside the house for 2 years with the shades drawn and never come out.
Bruh. Thugnificent says if you have discipline to run miles, spar rounds, maintain your weight, then you should have the discipline not to lay hands on a woman, especially when you got millions of dollars on the line. And I agree with that. I can't think of a scenario where a guy in Gervonta Davis's position, it's like, fam, like, nah, this should not be happening. You even being accused of this. You know, I remember a story about Bernard Hopkins. He told the story that he was in a room with a lot of people. There was women, titties, asses, flesh, meaty thighs, all the goodness. And the lights turned off. And Bernard Hopkins darts out of the room. He darts out of the room. What's going on? They asked him, like, yo, what happened? Like, nah, I ain't being in there. That's how Pac got caught up. I ain't trying to be in there. I was outside. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Coincidentally, Bernard is a Capricorn. I just had to put that out there.
But what you saying, the shit you talking about right now, Julius, the shit you talking about right now, all that shit you talking about comes with age and experience.
That's true.
Tank don't have that. Tank's been in the gym since he was 7 years old. He doesn't have life experience. He has never had to deal with real life. He's always had somebody else dealing with that shit for him.
I agree with that.
Now he's on his own, and he has to deal with real life shit, and he don't know how to deal with it. That's why he stay in trouble.
I agree. I have to agree with that because look, at the end of the day, when Mayweather signed him, how old was he, bro? He's like 20.
Yeah.
He's like 21, 22 around there.
Tank never had like a role model. He just had a safety net in the form of the fucking greatest modern boxer of all time. So like he never had to learn anything on his own.
And before that, Calvin Ford and everybody else took care of him.
Yeah, Floyd. That's how the rift started. Is that
with life on life's terms by himself? He doesn't know how to do it. He hasn't been taught.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's how the rift started. Is like Floyd was babying him in Vegas. Like he pulled him out of Baltimore because he wouldn't stop fucking up, and he just babying him the whole time in Vegas.
Hot Boxing says, my guy Diego Garjo was in Bellator and he won BKFC. He is a famous drag queen. I sparred him for camps. Dude, I'm trying to school. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, listen, man, I seen a lot of shit in life, and I'm telling y'all, that motherfucking, I seen a lot of young guys that thought they could talk some shit, especially in the summer. For some reason, I always used to see that shit in the summer. It was a store on the side of the building, yada, yada, yada. I seen a lot of young guys get their ass whooped. Like, stop talking that shit, man. If you don't know how to fight and you don't be fighting, shut the fuck up, man. Be quiet. For real, though, like, shut the fuck up. And that's what I notice about this generation. I notice it in the arguments that they make. I notice it in how they carry on. Like, you think that because you talking, you saying something? You're not.
Nah, bro, our generation is the cross-dresser, though. It is that.
Isn't there a video of Jake Paul
No need
punching
to
a
send you a
giant
message
dildo?
there on the chat. He says his super chat ain't working.
Let me see. Yo, my super chat didn't work, brother. But hope y'all can support our channel. Yo, I got y'all, man. Like, whenever y'all need something, holla at me. I got y'all, man. Y'all bless me. I'll be happy to bless y'all. Shit.
Sorry to interrupt, Jules, but I just thought you needed to see that one. That's all.
Yeah. Whenever y'all need something, holla at me. I'll be happy to do promo for y'all and all of that. Like, you shit. Just let me know. For real.
Artwork? You need artwork?
We'll be there. We'll be there in an hour. We'll definitely be there.
For real though, but yeah, like that's what I notice about this generation, that they seem to think that because they talking, they saying something. Like, nah, you not talking about nothing. Like for real though, like when I see Ryan and Gervonta go back and forth, for example, on Twitter, we all see it, and I feel like the older people interpret those conversations differently than the younger people. The younger people get excited. The older people say, "Y'all don't want to fight. Y'all just out here arguing like a bunch of little bitches. Y'all want to fight. Because if y'all wanted to fight, y'all have fought. It's not hard, B. It's like on some real shit, it's not hard. Wilder fought Fury and Fury fought Wilder because for whatever reason, and we could get into the reasons, but for whatever reason, they wanted to fight. It's simple. It is simple. When you want to fight.
What did Crawford say? What did Crawford say at the Porter press conference when Tom Brown made that statement? What did he say? You remember what he said?
When the fighter want to fight, it's going to be a fight.
He said, "Stop. Say that again so they can hear you."
When the fighter want to fight,
two fighters want to fight, they're gonna fight.
Think like we really get caught up in the politics and all the different things, but it really is more simple than it's made out to be. That look, if you want to fight and you tell your man and all that shit, yo, if you want to fight, you gonna fight. Like it's really though, like for real though, like yeah, if you want to fight, you gonna fight. That's how I know Ramirez don't want Prograis, because we've been here before. You could have fought him in 2018 when Probellum Probellum didn't exist in 2018. If you wanted to get it on with Regis, you could have got it on with him then. You didn't. It didn't happen, right? All right, bingo. All right, and here we are, 4 or 5 years later, whatever it is. You still not getting it on. You don't want that fight, bro. Just be real. You don't want that fight. And when we look around, why would you? You could fight Lopez for more money. You could fight Barboza for the same money. Of course, you ain't gonna want to fight Regis. He'll fuck you up, bro. And everybody on this panel know that.
That's a fact.
When did Wilder win the title? What year did Wilder win the title?
2015. 2015.
He won the title in 2015, right? Vitaly was still around, am I right?
Yep. Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Vladimir was still around, am I right?
Yes, he was.
Yep.
If he wanted to fight those dudes, he could have fought those dudes. Am I right?
He was a baby champion.
Bro, look, let's not limit it to 2015, because this is the egregious part. This is what I find most egregious. For 7 years of Vladimir Klitschko's reign, him being around, you were around for him for 7 years while he was beating everything. You know, he's winning Chagev, Povetkin, Pulev, all that good shit. And you didn't fight him then. That's what really stands out to me more than Shelly Finkel calling you a baby champion. Shelly Finkel calling you a baby champion is the cherry on top. That's what indefinitely confirms to me that y'all had no intention of making that fight. But the fact that you were around with him for 7 years and y'all never fought, so who were you fighting then? You wasn't fighting Chisora.
Deontay's notoriety was that he was the guy that David Haye would beat up in sparring. Like that's who he was during that time.
For real. That's sparring. It's like, and what I hate, see, look, I got a tick. I do have a tick. My tick is liars. Like, I really don't like people that lie about shit. Like, it's literally a tick for me. When I see people try to say that Wilder is the reason that the heavyweight division got hot, yo, I generally be mad off that. Like, no, it isn't, bro. This man was around since 2009. He was around for that whole boring Klitschko era. He was there, and nobody was talking about him. The real reason the heavyweight division got money and got life, I'm sorry to say, whether you think he's a good fighter or not, it's because of AJ. It really is.
All you have to do is look at the buys and look at the money generated and how many people showed up. That is the true indication of who was carrying a division or carrying a situation.
Like, legitimately, like, it was the main indicator was AJ versus Klitschko, because that was a huge fight. It was a huge fight, bro. If it's money in the heavyweight division right now, it's not because of Fury. Because when Fury fought Klitschko, nobody cared. It was an awful fight to watch. It was terrible. Nobody cared about that shit. When Wilder beat Stavern, nobody cared about that shit. It's when AJ fought Klitschko that the world started paying attention to the heavyweight division.
Yep.
That shit was literally like a coronation of a new king. The way it played out, like
he had everything going for him.
And they even tried to pass AJ off as like Muhammad Ali. They took that one picture of him standing over.
Thank you, country. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Good
I remember
guy,
that.
Athletic, gold medalist, young, good in front of the camera. He had everything that they wanted.
Moreover,
and a great fighter.
Banged Amir Khan's wife, all that.
Moreover, but that's good shit. You gotta fuck people.
I can't blame him.
Moreover,
She's dying.
But let me say this too. The other thing, I really think this gets lost. I think it doesn't get mentioned that the aesthetic of a match is actually important. In that fight, AJ got knocked down. His chin got tested and he got knocked down. Irrespective of how you feel about it now, what that means is that the fight had ebbs and flows. It had highs and lows, and it was dramatic. Those are the kind of fights that literally make people spend money. They really are, though. They're not here. They don't really want one guy to just completely beat the shit out. They want to see drama. And there was a lot of drama in that fight because Klitschko landed that right hand and AJ went down, bro. And it just wasn't looking good. And he turned it. He got up. He turned it around. He stopped Klitschko. That's the kind of shit that brings people back.
And just to bring it, like, just to come full circle, like AJ's from like the British equivalent of a project housing building, like a project building. This dude never gets accused of beating up women.
Real shit though. He's a street guy. Watford is the streets, bro.
Hey,
like,
that's what made the third fight.
He had priors too. He was selling dope.
He dropped Fury. Fury got up, beat on him, and knocked his ass out. That's what made that third fight so great. That's why people was shitting and pissing over that third fight.
Shelton, I'm going to be real. I ain't even going to lie to you, Shelton. I did like that third fight. I'm not going to lie about that shit. It was dramatic. It was entertaining. But I just don't like. If you really want to know why I don't like Tyson Fury, it's because he's a liar. Like motherfuckers attack me off that shit. Like, why do you hate Tyson Fury? It's because he's a liar, and that's my pet peeve. Everybody has one. My pet peeve.
I don't like the motherfucker. He's not what they say he is. He ain't really beat nobody. He's not what they say he is.
No, I'm with you on that, Shelton. I'm with you on that. But the real reason that I don't like Tyson Fury is because he's a liar. That's why I don't like I don't respect that shit. If you beat Klitschko, you don't have to lie. If you came to America and beat Wilder, you don't have to lie, but you do. Yeah. You be lying about a lot of shit though, like for real though, like you really do.
Well, just the whole retiring and coming back and just wanting the attention when it's not on you. That kind of shit's annoying, dude. It's like girl.
Yeah, it's
like
a little kid, you know.
Like basically what Fury did, which is what I believe. He tricked Wilder. I do believe that, and he confessed to that. He did say that I tricked Wilder and Al Heyman, and I agree. You did trick him because you were always a better boxer than him. That doesn't really surprise me.
He's a gypsy.
You know what I mean? He is a better boxer. Like he is a really great boxer. Like to be balanced. Is Fury a great boxer? Absolutely. Is he a piece of shit person to me? Absolutely, bro. You didn't give your whole purse to charity. Why would you lie about something like that? Why would you lie about something like that, bro? You gave your whole purse from the Wilder fight to charity, really?
You know what's funny?
$8 million.
So, like, just to get deep into the psychology of Tyson Fury, this dude said that if he wasn't boxing, he'd be a car salesman, which are the biggest fucking finessers in the entire world.
He also said that he said he would also be as rich as he is now. Yeah, good luck with that being a car salesman.
Yeah, no disrespect to the Furies, but they're like known for being like, you know, sneaky type of people.
Look, is Fury a great boxer? Yes, but what's my main hang up? You're a bullshitter. You never tried to make the AJ fight. How do I know? I remember the things that people don't remember in 2017. You had a choice. Fight AJ or fight Wilder. You chose Wilder.
Yeah, he did.
You chose Wilder.
You talking about the third fight? You talking about the first?
No, I'm talking about the first fight.
Well,
Fury
in his defense, though, I mean, he was a fat piece of shit, cocaine.
Bro, it's not that. It's simple. You cannot sell me a dream that Anthony ain't shit when you chose Wilder. You chose him. If Anthony ain't shit, if he really ain't shit, the way you've been saying that he ain't shit, you would have chose him.
Well, yeah, he says he's not shit after he comes back, after he's in shape, after he's beat on some dudes. Of course, now he's going to be cocky.
All I'm saying is, listen. It's not complex. Look at the money. Look at the money from 2017 to 2018. Who had it? AJ paid Charles Martin more money.
$6 million, right?
Like $7 million. Bro, Wilder wasn't making that at all.
Charles Martin's wife or girlfriend had to love AJ just for that alone.
Bro, life-changing money as a contender, as a challenger.
Right, so all I'm saying, my main hang up, like really at its base, what my main hang up with Fury is, you're not an honest person, man. It's not possible for you to be honest. If you were honest, you could sit here and say, yeah, I got him, da 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 da. You know what I mean? And now we're gonna roll on. You trying to convince the world that Usyk is not a great fighter? Bruh, Usyk is a motherfucker, bruh. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Usyk is a bad motherfucker, man.
When a fighter is one fight away from being twice undisputed, you can't say words like he's a bad fighter.
Talking all this, oh, he a middleweight, or like I'm like, bruh, being real, if I were you, I'd be afraid. Because Usyk don't care that you 6'9". He really doesn't. He doesn't care that you weigh 277. Whatever you want, we going, bro. And I hope you're ready, because that's the kind of guy that he is. See, Usyk, what I love about Usyk is he don't really say a lot. I'm here to do a job. That is my job, and I'm gonna do my job. That's what I like about Usyk. Like we don't got to do all this extra bullshit, bro. At the end of the day, the reason people gonna come to the fight is to see me fight you. That's why we're here. All that shit in between, you can have fun with that, bro. I'm here to fight. I love
that's the problem I have with these dudes, right? That's the problem I have with these cats. You say this guy ain't shit. This guy can't fight. He's a bum. He's this and that. Well, if he's terrible and he can't fight and he ain't shit and he's a bum, it should be no problem for you to get in there and dust his punk ass off there, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Now,
why are you running from a dude who can't fight?
Motherfucking Andrade, what's the shit he did? Bruh, you want to wait till some other man, you want to wait till another man go in there with Yanni back to start talking about some Yanni back, because I remember everything. You didn't say nothing about him when they ordered you to fight him. He didn't say nothing. But when Denzel go in there and fight him, oh, now he ain't shit. Now he can't carry my gym bag. Why you gotta wait for Denzel to go in there with him to start talking spicy like that?
Who fell
And that's
asleep?
the same criticism. That's the same criticism I gave Canelo. You said he's a horrible fighter. Well, if he's a horrible fighter, why don't you just go in there and dust his punk ass off there?
Now this is
for what purpose?
Now I'm gonna tell you what. Now I'm gonna tell you what. This is where we disagree, right? He did try to fight Andrade, but people don't want to accept that when he tried to fight Andrade, he petitioned the IBF, said, "Yo, I want to be undisputed," and he said it right after the Jacobs fight. He said it literally right after the Jacobs fight. I'm shooting for undisputed. He went for it. Right. IBF told him, no, you got to fight Sergey. This is the part of the story that really doesn't get talked about. They offered motherfucking Sergey $5 million. Lou wanted more than that. And that's why that didn't happen. So then they stripped him of the IBF. Well, I can't be undisputed if I get stripped of the IBF.
Hey, Joe, someone's snoring again, man.
I think that's Michael, bro, but I'm trying to find him. There you go.
By the way, Don Juan.
As soon as you bring up Andrade.
By the way, Don Juan said you missed 2 super chats also.
I'm about to go back up. Let me go back up, see the super chats. Which ones I missed?
Yeah, Don Juan said you missed 2 of them. I don't know which ones, but he said earlier you missed 2 of them. I just didn't want to.
I think I missed Thugnificent. I read Thugnificent. Let me see. Don Juan. Don Juan said Mayweather, Tank, and Beetlejuice need to have a spelling bee contest. That was Don Juan. Motherfucking Don Juan said having a bad up. No, I read that one.
Maybe you can find Nonitos.
My son broke his having a bad up. No, I read that one already. Tank is like Stewart from Mad TV.
Stuart Little.
You know what I mean? And let me see. What's another one? Let me see another one. Bruh, the only dude Andre could compare Canelo to was Mayweather. Honestly, yeah. Honestly. And that's why it's like it's impossible for you to be Andre and talk bad about Canelo. It really is though, because it's like, if you try and say that Callum, Billy, Caleb, Austin, Laura, Cotto, Jacobs, Kova, if you trying to say that ain't shit, who did you fight? Who did you fight?
Nobody on their level.
Cause that's a lot. That ain't one win. That's a lot. Like really though. Like that's a lot though. Like that's a lot of guys, bro. And you ain't fought one guy that's better than them. You like Jack Culkay?
Let's compare their best wins.
I'm like, who you fought, bro? If we supposed to believe, if like you want us to believe that he running scared from you, what did you do? Go 12 with Liam Williams. I got a question for the whole panel. Does Liam Williams go 12 with Canelo?
Nope.
No.
Now, I know it's more y'all out there than that. Does Liam Williams go 12 with Canelo?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
All right, I got another question for you, country.
Okay.
Does Liam Williams go 12 with Callum Smith?
No.
You see what he doing to people. You see what he doing to people.
Yeah.
He is flatlining guys out here, bro.
I don't think so, man.
And what's
I
even
don't
worse
think
now
so.
is he's had such a long layoff and he hasn't even fought anyone halfway decent in a while. What do you think is going to happen next? I mean, if you put him in there against a guy that was like even somewhat elite or above average, dude, he's going to struggle, man. He's going to struggle bad. That's why they're putting him there with an Uber driver. Well,
I mean, look, and I really tried to be sympathetic because I do understand that there were fights that should have happened that didn't happen, and it wasn't always Andre's fault, like the Charlo fight or the Golovkin fight. Though at the same time, I'm like, bruh, there are these other careers. Like I look at an Ioka, right? A guy who isn't being talked about that much in the West, and I'm like, bruh, I don't have time to hear all this bullshit. Like because there's guys like Ioka, they fight people. There's kids like Bam, young guy, ambitious young guy, jumped up 2 weight classes for the Quadras fight, and they're making things happen. Sonny Edwards, you know what I mean? He wasn't supposed to win him at the Lane fight. Most people don't realize that. He was the underdog going into that fight. But he won. He fought the Alvarado guy. Alvarado, stylistically, on paper, was supposed to beat him, but he didn't. And these careers are so much more entertaining and intriguing than watching you regurgitate the same bullshit because you haven't fought shit.
Julius, well, it's the entitled attitude of they feel like they did, like because they'll have a record of like 20-0, 22-0. But again, it's against a lot of nobodies and pretenders. But now we have come as a society that's acceptable, that you don't have to go through the fire anymore. Like you don't have to climb through that. You don't have to do without or put yourself in a bad situation to get the respect of achieving greatness. And that's why we like these fighters that do that. The guys that go to other continents and fight, when in a horrible situation. Or you're talking about somebody who goes in there when there's not an opportunity to win, and you come out and win, or go up weight classes or whatever it is. That's what we want. A lot of these dudes are unwilling to do that.
That's why Sean Porter's beloved.
Yeah. But he wasn't. This is the weird thing about Sean Porter. I remember how people used to talk about him ahead of the Thurman fight when Thurman was buzzing. And they used to talk bad about him. You can literally go, just put it in. My name and Porter in Ring IQ Boxing Talk on Facebook. I was one of the only Porter fight fans because I'm like, yo, when he fights, it's fun. Whether he wins or he loses, it's fun. And that's literally why I'm here, to see a good fight. I'm not here to see you play it safe behind a jab. I'm here to see a good fight. And I was one of the I was one of the few people. Yeah, I like Sean Porter. Yeah, he lost to Kell Brook, but he's still a good fighter. You can't keep him out, and that's what I liked about him.
All you have to do, all you have to do is take
backstage.
All you have to do is take your 10 favorite fighters and pull up your first 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 favorite fighters and look at how many losses they have. You're not going to find anybody probably in your top 5 that doesn't have 4 or 5 losses on their career. The thing is, they're still beloved. There's still guys that are considered legends. It's okay to lose. It's okay to go in there and challenge and not win. You're still going to get respect. I don't.
If Ali can have 5, if Ali can have 5 losses on his record and still be considered the greatest, what that tell you?
Tells you that it's okay. Roberto Duran's one of the greatest fighters of all time. You guys got what, 4 losses, 5 losses?
No, Roberto Duran has 16 losses. Roberto Duran has like 16 losses, but he has 103 wins, so that evens it out. So
I have an eternal
4 losses.
I have an eternal respect for Paul Butler, even though he didn't really put up a fight. At least he got in the fucking ring. Stephen Fulton is this guy that everyone's lapping up, and he ran to another fucking division.
That's the thank you, because
it wouldn't have been so bad if he didn't use Inui's name, knowing he wasn't going to fight him. That's the problem I had with it.
But see, this is
Danny Garcia. It's a
Let me
shit.
say this. That iterates the point perfectly. Did anybody think that Stephen Butler stood a chance?
Paul Butler? No.
You mean Paul Butler?
No. Paul Butler. Did anybody? Yeah. It's like a Corona
It's
bottle.
okay, Jules. Don't worry, man. Don't
All
worry.
right, now did anybody think that Paul Butler stood a chance?
Nope.
But he still fought.
Right.
He still fought. Right? Now Stephen Fulton, and you can make the argument that a defensively responsible fighter who's naturally bigger may be able to take Inouye the distance. Maybe he wins. And what do? You go to a division up north to fight a fight that no one is asking. Nobody cares about Figueroa 2. They want to see you versus Inouye. And your management, your promoter, and the network, you're not interested in doing that. Okay, well then you're just not going to give me what I want then. Period.
Because I realized this. Boxers, they can be skillful. They can be this, that, the third. But one thing about punching power, it has an effect on people. Let's keep it a buck. When you see someone get knocked smooth the fuck out, it's like you can't help but say like, oh shit. Because let's keep it a buck. This dude's come up from weight class to weight class to weight class to weight class, parking dudes. He started his career at 106 pounds. Went up in weight, parking dudes. Went up in weight, parking dudes. And let's keep it a buck. Guillermo Rigondeaux fought Nonino Donaire and gave Donaire a boxing lesson and gave him a cookie and hit him super hard. He said,
A beating.
He said, yo, Naoya Inoue hits harder than Guillermo Rigondeaux. Mind you, he fought Guillermo Rigondeaux in a higher weight class. So you see how much punching power he has, bro, and that bothers people. And
I get that.
The skill with the skill.
I get that, but it reminds me of Evander Holyfield, and this is where I'm an old head. Mike Tyson was the Achilles of the shit, right? Evander Holyfield was just an ambitious cruiserweight that moved up in weight, but he believed I can beat him. If I can put him on his back foot, I can beat him. And those are the stories, and the story of the fight is in the fight that, man, I ain't no bitch. I can beat this guy. It's a quote from Ali before he fought Foreman. I often go back to it because it's just like some movie shit. If you can box him and you can stick him, For 15 rounds, I often go back to that to watch.
I remember what you were talking about.
I get goosebumps watching that shit because not nobody believed that. Like, bro, you got beat by Frazier, bro. You need to chill. And
you got beat by
not believing that shit.
Some David, there's some shit from the Bible, dude. Like,
it's those fights. I'm just saying, it's those people that are willing to fight, even when they don't win, that it makes it like, yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you want to watch because that's where the drama is. And I think fighters and managers and promoters and even networks, they kind of forgot that like you do realize that these people are here to see a fight, right? They're here to see a fight. A fight is not you versus overmatched guy. A fight is a fight. That's what they here to see.
That's how Mickey Ward was able to retire and not have to fucking live in squalor his whole life.
For real,
that's why I have a lot of respect for Daniel Jacobs, because he would always go in there against, opponents that generally probably might be slightly better than him or equal to him. And even if he would lose the fight, I have a lot of respect with the Triple G fight. I became a fan of his after that.
Gabe Rosado.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I respect dudes like that are willing to go in there and fight. Maybe not in the best circumstances when it comes either to the money or it comes to the situation where they're fighting at, but they're willing to do it. Those are the guys I'll root for.
Yeah,
but
Chisora does numbers in the UK because of that.
He's
not the most skilled guy.
Because that's what people like. The funniest shit is, and this is why I go hard on a Fulton, for example. You supposed to be A, B, C, and D. You supposed to be all that in a bag of chips. And I was believing it up until this recent shit. Bro, just fight this fucking guy, bro. That's it. Just fight him, bro. It's not as complicated as people make it. Just fight the fucking guy. If you win, if you lose, put up a good fight, bro. That's what people are going to pay this. If you win or if you lose, so long as you put up a good fight, people going to fuck with you after that. But when you don't have the fight all together, bro, what the fuck I'm supposed to say? What the fuck I'm supposed to... Bro, you was talking about him. That man don't even speak English. He wasn't talking about you. You was talking about him. And then he heard you like, oh yeah, I'm with that shit. I want to fight him.
But Julius, don't you think maybe Fulton doesn't have control over his career to make that decision?
All right. I got you, right? I'm going to hit you with some shit. Do I think he has control? Absolutely not. Are you a slave? Your mind is not your own? Your words are not your own? You can't say no?
Let's look at it like from this perspective. One of the most underachieving boxers on that platform and stable left to get more money at Black Prime. You know how I understand how crazy that is? A guy that literally fucked up damn near all his opportunities to be great. He lost to Manny Pacquiao. He lost to fucking Marcos Maidana. But he really should have beat Maidana.
But at least he's honest. And I'm going to say this. That's the one thing about Adrian that I like. He not lying, fam. I know some bullshit when I hear it. That man wasn't lying, which is why I started listening. Like, he not lying.
But he had past examples of saying things before, so it wasn't like the first time. He made little tweets or he would say shit about not getting his money. So there was already smoke before the fight.
Yeah, but the thing is with him though, when he was getting all his money, was doing all that things, he was fucking it up. Let's keep it a buck. I'm gonna everything you said about AB about him telling the truth.
Really,
it's evident. But let's just keep it a buck, man. That dude was the first fight, the first main event on the PBC. He opened up that whole stable. And bro, let me keep it a buck, man. Like after the Maidana thing, anyone really could have just dropped. If Al Heyman really wanted to say like, nah, bro, you wasted my time with that. You did all this stuff just to lose. Yo, you're off the stable. But mind you, they kept giving him chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance after chance, just for him to fuck things up. Sure. But at the end of the day, when you give people too much chances after chances after chances, and you're not putting the money to guys who can really fight and really don't fuck up, that's what you get. A lot of these dudes were given chances by Al Heyman, and they fucked it up. They did. They really did.
And to Leo's point about Fulton, like to Leo's point about Fulton not having control, like yeah, Caleb didn't either. But when Canelo comes over, like you're gonna have to go get that money anyway. Like
But-
go to Japan. That's your biggest payday.
Can I say this? Let me say this. Artur better be a big part of the reason. I remember a lot of shit, man. And I remember a lot of guys talking up Artur. Not because Artur had beat anybody at the time, because he didn't. He actually didn't beat nobody at the time. And I remember Artur was being talked up circa 2016, 2015 as the anti-Kovalev. Not because Artur beat anyone. Go look at his resume in 2015. He hadn't beat shit.
The highest person he beat was Gabriel Campillo?
Right?
Come on.
But because Showtime, but because Kova was an HBO fighter, and you know, Artur was with the PBC for those that forgot. You know what I mean? It was people talking him up. And what I respect about Artur is he fought very hard to get away from there. He did. He had to be in loss in that court shit for months to get away from Ivan Michel, because Ivan Michel said, I'll get you 4 fights a year. He wasn't having 4 fights a year. He was unhappy. And the moral of the story is, bro, when you want something, you get it. It's not complicated. It's just like getting a girl. If you want it, you're going to get it. If you're not, you're not. Because you didn't really want it. It's not complicated. Like, really, it's not. Artur wanted to get away from there. Danny Jacobs wanted to get away from there. That's what I see. Mikey Garcia saw money somewhere else. He went over there and got it. Jesse Vargas saw money somewhere else. He went over there and got it. So when I see that, okay, y'all still over there, the situation is not better, it's worse, and y'all still over there, bro, you don't want to leave. Remember, Vargas fought Broner on the PBC before he fought Mikey on the zone for way less money. Way less money. Mikey got $7 million off that Vargas fight. Vargas got like $1 million or a little over $1 million, whatever it was, on the zone. But those were both guys that were on PBC before that. So if you want to leave, you'll find a way. You will find it.
Okay, but let me ask you about that Mikey Garcia situation. Because he fought Spence and then he went to fight Jesse Vargas, right? Now, what I think happened that right there is why Mikey Garcia got a deal when he didn't have to keep going to the PBC for fights. Because, in my opinion, and it was something that was very well known in the boxing world, Mikey Garcia was going to lose that fight. So there was no point on keeping Mikey Garcia there.
Yeah, I think he said he was fight by fight with PBC.
He was. But was Danny Jacobs?
Danny Jacobs was a PBC fighter, one of the first signees of Al Heyman, and he was still able to get out.
Artur better beef?
Yeah, he was. I remember. I'm in the same
The point that I'm making, it's simple. It's simple. Like the point that I'm making is more simple than it sounds. It's victim mentality, bro. If you want to leave, you will leave. If you don't want to leave, you won't leave. It's not complicated.
I think pretty soon, the next example that you're like talking about is going to be Richardson Hitchens, because that dude has like real skills. He got fucked over by Mayweather, and now he's at Matchroom.
Bang!
Bang, bang, bang,
Now
bang,
look
bang.
at Benavidez. Now look at Benavidez. Look at Benavidez. You've been on the same side of the street since Jermall Charlo forever. Did they make the Charlo fight? No. All right. Where's Canelo right now? He's at the zone. How long is he going to be there? For about 2 fights, maybe more. And where are you? Oh, I just re-signed the PBC. It's kind of self-explanatory. You don't want the Canelo fight. You're not doing anything that tells me you want that fight. Literally, you're not. You're not. All right? Canelo was at the PBC for 1 fight and just 1 fight. That was the Caleb Plant fight, and it was only because Caleb had a belt. It was only because of that. If not for that, he probably would have never went over there. All right?
Because he fought a lot of them PBC dudes on Golden Boy already. He understood how Al Heyman was giving it up.
But moreover, It's more like this. Like, okay, Benavidez, what big fight is you finna have on PBC? What's the big fight? Like, what's the biggest fight you can have here, right? Because what I see is you can have bigger fights that are literally worth more money everywhere else. Like, for example, if you made Benavidez versus Zerto, even now that Zerto's coming off a loss, that fight draws a lot of fucking money. I'm telling you it does. I'm not even kidding. No belt, just Mexican fighter versus quasi Mexican fighter. That fight draws a lot of money. And where are you? Oh, you're gonna fight the guy that Canelo knocked out last year. I mean, all right.
Whoopee.
Whoopee.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I was gonna say this though about Gervonta Tank Davis. I know you spoke on it. I know it's late. Homie is scumbag, bro. And let me just get the floor for real quick. Homie's a real piece of shit, bro. Literally. I understand you come from the hood, you come from where you come from, but you're a real piece of shit, bro. Literally. You beat up on women. You have all these things around you. I understand you may have some mental illness, but who doesn't? I understand you may not have.
Wait,
Let me finish.
Chris, where did the mental illness start? When did that, bro? You not? It's not. No. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You just a piece of shit.
I understand that.
I'm not that.
We're not showing him no more.
He got an illness. That's why he's a piece of shit. No, you just a piece of shit.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, he is a piece of shit, and I'm not shooting him no bell. But back to what I was saying about my soliloquy with Tank Davis. You have all this stuff around you. You almost killed a woman that was pregnant. She looked you dead in her eyes, and your bitch ass left her to die. You're a fucking faggot, bro. I'm sorry about the language, but that's everything that you are. You like literally just because you can fight and you can do whatever in the ring.
Bro, wait, because that's the other thing. It's not, and I often come back to this because I understand it's a talking point. It's not like Davis is the first boxer that put hands on a woman. Monzon did it. Valero did it. Jake LaMotta used to do it.
Yep.
Right? I'm not giving them a pass for what the fuck they did, though. That's
all scumbags too.
Scumbag.
Sugar Ray Robinson, as much as you love him, as people love him, he was a piece of shit too.
Sugar Ray Leonard put his hands on his girl.
Right? But here's what I see. And I'm not, it's not, oh, that it's okay. It's more like at least they were willing to fight. You ain't even willing to fight. You don't want to fight nobody.
What is worse, Gervonta Davis professional resume or personal resume?
That's hilarious.
Leo came in with the blast. Drop the mic.
That's
Good one, Leo. Good one.
That's a clip.
Both of his resumes are D level on both.
But let me finish this up, bro. You can do all this shit outside of the ring, but you won't fight Shakur. You won't fight Devin. Like literally. You know Michael Hunter's younger brother, Keith the Bounty Hunter, right? Was sparring him, right? And when he was getting in his eyes, what did he choose to do? He started hitting him low. He tried to do all types of roughhouse tactics because it showed you he's not a fucking man, bro.
Yo, that's what I've been trying to communicate for approximately 2 hours and a half. That like I don't know who raised you or who got you to this point. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was your mom, was it Calvin Harris, but they failed because you suck. Like, yeah, you suck. Like, you ain't shit. Like, you really think motherfuckers really give a shit about you knocking out Leo Santa Cruz? That shit ain't gonna mean nothing 3 years from now, bro. You fucking suck, bro. You ass. Or you get locked up for. If you gonna keep getting locked up, can it please be for some real shit? Every time you get locked up, it's for some girl shit. Literally. Every time. Like it can't be. Oh, Davis got caught with I don't know, man, 100 pounds of coke, Rico law, something. Nah, he got caught with the hammer. He got caught with the ratty. No, it's always some girl shit.
Bro, remember when
Literally.
him and Tevin Farmer ran into each other at the mall and he literally didn't do anything but throw a tantrum? Like, this dude is a fucking act, bro. This whole street shit is an act.
Like, I don't understand when it became like, look, because your mommy is broke and because you live on a block, that does not make you a street person. You are a sports guy. You have been a sports guy most of your life. You try to act like you some kind of like Rich and Poe kind of person, some motherfucking Chapo. Nah, fam, you a sports guy. You are a sports guy. I don't care what you listen to when you work out. I don't care where you work out. I don't care where you were born or where you're a sports guy, bro. You're not no Chapo kind of person. You know what I mean? And the disconnect, which I think is adverse to, I guess, the subculture, is assuming that every person of a certain denomination is a street person by default. No, that's not true. Like, no, it's not true, bro. You can live in a poor neighborhood. That does not make you a street person. Like, literally. No, it doesn't. No, because what the fuck do you be doing?
You just poor, B. You poor.
You just poor.
Yeah, bro, that's me, bro. I'm soft. I come from the same type of background. I got my college degree like 3 weeks ago, bro. I'm not putting my hands on women. I'm a nerd.
I'm proud of you. But I'm proud of you because that's the goal. The goal is, or the mission statement for people like us, because I come from a poor neighborhood. Yeah. The mission statement is to get out. That's the mission statement, to get out. Now, that don't make you a murderer or a Rambo. And I'm like, yo, this kid threatened to shoot a girl in the face.
That dude's pushing 30, bro. Ain't no kid.
No, but I'm just saying, like, yo, how you threatening joints to shoot them in their face? What's going on? What is happening? But she ain't want to suck your dick? What's going on? What is happening here? Because that's not... I don't know, B.
You should, even if you like that, bro. Like, don't you have a fight coming up? Don't you need your legs?
Bro, but see, Chris, you know he not like that because a little white boy from the Ukraine had him scared to death. If you was really like that, win, lose, or fall, win, lose, or draw. If you were really like what you purvey, you would have fought him. You not like, in other words, I see motherfuckers say what they want about me. I see a bitch. You were scared of the white boy from the Ukraine. That's what I see. That's all I see. You didn't want to know. If you were really who you pretended to be, at minimum, you would have wanted to fight him.
At minimum, you would have fought Tevin Farmer. Let's keep it at basics.
No. Because it's something, I'm telling you, when you love what you do, it's a competitive spirit that is born in the things that you love to do. You want to test yourself against what is perceived as being the best, just to know where you are. If this Lomachenko person from the Ukraine with this fucked up fade that he got, because I always thought his fades were horrible. I'm going, you know what? If he all that, I don't care if I lose. I just want to see where I am. I want to fight him, bro. Because they keep talking about him like he the fucking second coming of some shit. I need to fight him. You ain't want to know, bro. You let Leonard and Floyd and you didn't want to know, bro. That's all I know that you didn't want to know, bro. That dude had you shook, bro. That's how, remember in 2017 when Floyd threatened to make him fight fucking Lomachenko.
He copped the plea. He copped the plea early.
And I'm like, and you, Chris, you know, everybody on this channel knows I don't have a high opinion of Teofimo, but I will always give him at least you fought Lomachenko. At least.
You beat him.
So I know you
on
not.
My birthday too.
So at least I know that kid. Say what he say. He's a retard. He's a moron. But you know what he ain't? He ain't a bitch. He ain't a
He's not a
bitch.
bitch.
He
He ain't no
willing to
bitch
fight.
ass nigga.
Now, how the fuck can this shit go on between you and Loma since 2017? And what I see is what I knew. This little hoe is not gonna fight him. A lot of shit gonna happen, but this little hoe, he not gonna fight him because he not like that. Well, this on my poor neighborhood, it's bitches in poor neighborhoods. I'm just saying. What that mean? Because you poor, you a tough person? That doesn't mean that. Tough people get out the poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
You pretending to be a street person. You're not a street person because you're poor. I'm sorry. It's like literally though. It's a lot of people that are poor. That does not make you a street person.
Sure
You're
does.
not out here moving bricks of cocaine, right?
Nope.
Like literally,
That's what
like are
do.
you? Are you moving bricks of cocaine? Are you killing people? Are you shooting them in the face? All right, then let's stop charade, please. Because you want people to assume by default that because you come from a shitty neighborhood, that makes you something that you're not. You're a sports guy at best, and I don't even think you're a good sports guy, but you're a sports guy.
He's
at
competent.
best.
He's competent.
He's a sports guy, bro. All I'm
Yeah, every hood had an athlete, like the athlete types.
Bro, you know how many guys I knew that they were great fucking hood legends of crate ball?
Yeah, come on, bro.
Do you guys remember Ricky from Boys in the Hood? He was a sports guy. He got shot in the back. You guys remember?
I feel personally, look, it needs to be said for the culture, for the country, for everybody. Not everybody that is poor is a street person. That will delineate, no. That will establish certain lines that just because a person is poor doesn't make them a hooligan. Just because a person is poor doesn't make them a thug. Like, no, it doesn't. Like, that's the truth. There were a lot of people that lived in poor neighborhoods on Riverside. They live in poor neighborhoods, but they're not hooligans. So when I see a Davis, like, bro, you're not a sports person. You got signed by Floyd Mayweather at 21, 22. They were buying you Range Rovers and things like that at a time when it's young guys that I know robbing the Chinese food man for all them quarters.
Yo, it's crazy.
It's crazy out here, right?
I live in Long Island. Let me tell you a funny story. My man's, he from Hempstead, but Hempstead is a notorious hood in Long Island. Like, don't get it mixed up, construed. Niggas get left out here in Long Island, right? But he used to say, like, yo, we used to call up the Chinese food spot, right? Order mad food, right? And we would close the lights in the apartment complex, right? And he would walk in, dumb, deaf, and blind because, he's just here to deliver food, do his job, right? Bro, they will put the beats on him. Take all the food, not pay him, and just and leave that nigga out there. They used to do that all the time until he started coming with people, so they just had to pay now. Like shit like that. Like, yo, people who really live like that, bro.
I believe that because it's a taboo subject, it doesn't get the scrutiny that it deserves. Not everybody that lives in a Brooklyn, not everybody that lives in a Harlem, not everybody that lives in a Bronx is a thug. No, you're not a thug by default. Oh, because you come from Baltimore and Baltimore ain't shit. So what? You ain't kill nobody. You a sports guy. You box. You don't kill people. You don't sell cocaine. You box. Chill out. All you do is smack up girls and box people that you supposed to be. That's all I see. You box people that don't have a chance and hit girls. That's all I see. Because you come from a poor block, that does not make you a thug or a hooligan or a chapo or a capo or a motherfucking Escobar. You a joke. And the reason people don't say it is because I see that like it's like a fake unity or some shit almost that, because you're poor, I'm supposed to, like, no, you ain't shit, bro. Just because you're poor doesn't mean, just because you're poor, that doesn't make you anything other than poor.
Then what would you make the excuse? What would the excuse be then for people in Asia, people in South America? There's a lot of poor people globally. Are all those people,
I would tell you that
Gang related.
I would tell you that there are people in Brazil, for example, that are sooner to kill a man than an American. Americans really think that they're the I just don't understand. Maybe my view is unique. I'm a first generation American. This is not my history is not here. And it's like it's Americans that seem to think that this is like, oh, because you from like a fucking Missouri or some shit, that's like the worst shit. Bro, you know it's people in Brazil with fat old fasces that will fucking kill you, bro. They will fucking murk you out here and go frying
Bro,
egg.
I'm also
Rio de Janeiro and press your luck.
I'm also a first generation American, and my mom is from Honduras, which is like it's a mini favela, and they do like drive-bys on like fucking scooters and shit, like a moped in dress pants and an NBA shirt or some shit with the AK-47.
And it's not and what I love about Americans is like they'll hear that and they like, yo, you really think that shit is not real? Like, yo, go to Puerto Rico, like real Puerto Rico, not the part on the coast, not that part on the coast, because that's the fake shit, that's the tourist shit. Go to like a real Puerto Rico or a real DR. Go inland. Motherfuckers don't care about killing you out there, bro. Like motherfuckers don't care about that shit. Go to Mexico, not Acapulco, not Baja. Go to real Mexico. Motherfuckers don't care about killing you out there. So when you see this, I guess, privileged lifestyle, for lack of a better word, is kids out here in this country that is willing to pay for you to go to college. You know how I know that? Because I went to college off of Pell Grants and shit like that. And I'm like, bro, this country pays for you to go to college. Stop pretending that you have it bad. When I see that, I'll be like, yo, man, ain't shit out here, man. Unless you was really moving coke and shit like that, unless you was really murking people, be fucking quiet, bro. Because you fuck out of here, bro.
Well,
your whole rap sheet is you beating up girls.
That's why in certain countries you gotta watch.
He's getting ready for Ryan.
You gotta watch where you're going in certain countries, man, because you can waltz into an area and you don't know it, and somebody will smoke you.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It's crazy to me because I'm old and I'm like, yo, dog. Like I don't know how these guys get away with this. Like, bruh, you not doing nothing. Like, what are you? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's.
Yo, that getting ready for Ryan comment was hilarious, bro.
That shit was ridiculous, bro.
You a sick nigga.
Well, listen, your whole rap sheet is girls that you hit. Your whole rap sheet, Chris, the kid whole rap sheet is girls that he put the paws on, bro.
Why you think Floyd signed him? I think Floyd signed him.
I told you.
I don't understand this shit.
He was being groomed to be like Floyd.
I don't understand this shit, bro. Because I'm like, bro, and it's really guys that
you think Roger's pod work is the reason why Floyd got them hands like that? Nope, beating up on them women, dog.
Motherfucking Will said, fun fact, Rocky Graziano ran the streets, beat up cops and drill sergeants, went to prison, and ran the army. Married one woman, never cheated, and never laid a hand on her. Rocky was a real dude. It's like, I just don't know no other way
Somebody's got to put him on ice, though. I remember.
Yeah, well, Rocky Graziano aside, there's plenty of good people, solid people who never do that type of shit in the hood.
I'm just saying it's not an excuse that because you're a street guy because he's not that's what gets me. The explanation seems to be that because Gervonta is a street guy that he's not culpable for the things that he does, and I just feel like first of all he's not a street guy, he's a sports guy. At 21 years old or 23, whenever Mayweather signed him, he was a fucking millionaire. Do you know how many people I know would love to murk him for the money that he had at that time? He was literally a millionaire at 20-something years old.
Same thing with Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson's a legit.
Yeah, but Mike was a fucking animal. Come on, like you can't bring
and
up
he got that money himself,
bro. You can't bring up Mike Mike was the real shit. I'm saying, fam, you cannot keep. We gotta stop pretending that because the kid was poor that he was a street guy. Like, no, you wasn't, fam. For starters, at 20-something years old, how many of us was millionaires? I know I wasn't. Were you, Chris?
I'm 26, man. Like, That's a little bit about
How
what
we acting? How we acting? In other words, how we acting like he Alfie or fucking buckwheat or some shit, bro? You had a Range Rover at 23. You was no fam. I'm sorry. You
Buckwheat is hilarious.
yeah, like that shit don't
Tiny
even make
Tim.
sense to me.
That motherfucker was Tiny Tim.
That shit, like I'm like, yo, fam. At 20-something years old, you had a Range. Fam, nah, we can't do this Orphan Annie shit then. Like, no, you not no street person. You lived on a block.
Julius, imagine Gervonta Davis trying to do all that shit in the tunnel. Lord Jesus.
It's just, I don't know. To me, it seems like common sense. But in a nutshell, what I'm trying to get across is Gervonta Davis's life, for the most part, has been the life of an athlete and a rich athlete. Because Mayweather signing him when he did, that actually held a lot of weight. He had access to a lot of shit at a very young age that the average kid in the real ghetto does not have access to in any capacity, only in his dreams. Only in his dreams.
Yeah, Floyd put him up in a luxury apartment and gave him cars and all type of shit.
He was like a fucking ghetto Cinderella story, bro. And Floyd
also
was
gave him his girl,
godmother.
apparently.
And you try to tell me he a street guy? Like, nah, he not out here hitting girls because he a street guy. He hitting girls because he a bitch. That's all I'm saying.
So do you think the Hector fight still goes on? Is he going to be in the ring with a fucking ankle bracelet?
I really don't, though. I really don't. I don't believe he's gonna fucking fight Hector because there's no way. Like I said earlier, Rolly got pulled out of a fight based on accusations. There has actually been an arrest, and there's actually audio of a woman dialing 911, scared for her life. I just don't see how you could get away with putting on a fight under those circumstances.
Yeah, the optics are uniquely bad.
I mean, like what, to sell what, 200,000 pay-per-view price? I don't see it, bro.
Just so people can stream that shit.
You know, it's funny though. If he doesn't fight, that card probably get called off.
I mean, Boots versus Karen Pikachu can't be the main event.
But this is
that
this is
card
what I was
might
gonna.
that card might get dissolved, man.
This is what I was going to say about what you were saying about Demetrius Andrade, though. A lot of the stuff you were saying was true, and he did deserve to get cooked. But at one point in time, I would just say Demetrius Andrade's career was poorly mismanaged by him, and also some of his his fights, his displays rather, because he was beating niggas up at 54, like. Did turn people away from him because the Charlo thing is that's reprehensible. You don't do that a week out of the fight, man. I understand why the Charlos got mad at you, but hey, say for whatever you want. Brian Rose and Willie Nelson are not household names, and they're not the most skillful fighters. They're fringe world level at best, in hindsight. But when people see you do some dominant shit like he did in those two fights, people are going to have some reticence in fighting you. It is what it is. But mind you, like, we can say whatever you want. Hey, Canelo did fight a lot of these dudes at 154. He did fight a prime Austin Trout. He didn't. He struggled mightily.
Chris, can I say this? This is what I see the problem is with Andrade's career. He kept thinking that he was parallel to Canelo. This is what I see. When I feel like Andre, because he kept looking at Canelo and comparing himself to Canelo, that was his downfall. Like, bro, you should have fought Lara just for the sake of fighting Lara, just for the sake of it. You should have fought John Ryder just for the sake of fighting John Ryder. Make your money on your own. Cut yourself away from this Canelo shit, bro. You don't have access to him. And you don't have access to Golovkin. But you should have been willing to fight like a Danny Jacobs. You should have asked Eddie, whatever you can get me that shit. I don't care who would get me. I don't care.
But let me tell you something. Even if this guy were to beat all these people, I still don't think they were going to fight him, because let's keep it a buck. You can say whatever we want about Demetrius Andrade. He ain't an easy out. We all know that. He is not an easy out.
I don't think he's an easy out. I don't think he's an easy out. But you know what my thing is? Your situation is fucked up. It's irrespective of how you feel about it. So when you know, like, in other words, like, how could I put this, man? How could I put this?
I just say he was poorly mismanaged and he did not have the best people around him, though.
It's not just mismanagement. It's more along the lines of, look, you in a fucked up situation, whether you realize it or not. So you got to do dramatic shit to get out of that situation, because irrespective of how you feel about it, you're in a fucked up situation. Maybe you got to go to light heavyweight. Maybe that's the only place that you can make a statement, because the people you've been fighting, no one cares. Nobody cares.
Can I say something about this?
Yeah.
Demetrius Andrade, why I think some of these people haven't fought or they don't want to fight him. Because Demetrius Andrade is skilled, but I don't think he's that much skill that people want to think. I see him more as a crafty fighter, a clever fighter, and people like Golovkin, people that manage Golovkin and Canelo, in the end, they know that if Andrade has his big chance against one of these guys, he's gonna do what Sandor Martin did. Not fight. Try his best to go 12 rounds, and at the end of the fight, raise his hands, claiming victory when he did nothing to win that fight. So at the top of that, you want to get paid. And that,
yeah, but I can't.
That's a recipe to not get any fucking fights.
I can't say that, because at the end of the day, if you do look at Demetrius Andrade, he's very offensively. He's a very offensively gifted, but he also is defensively responsible. You don't see him running around the ring like Sandor Martin. You got to remember, hey, you look at the Liam Williams fight. He put dude down. Like, hey, Liam Williams was stepping to him and everything. He forced him to fight, and Andrade fought him off. Hey, so sometimes he did get hurt, but I can't say that. Andrade does step to dudes, be like.
But can I say this?
Yeah, can I add something?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, and I've said this on this show before, that at one point, like right after Andre Ward retired, I thought, man, I think him and Crawford are the best American fighters. I thought Andre and Crawford were the best American fighters in that short period after Ward retired. But at some point, that luster wears off because of the decisions he's made, regardless.
Can I say this? Let me say this, because this is the grim reality of what we're talking about. What you have to remember, Chris, is that we watch the sport more closely than the average guy. We really do. Like, at the end of the day, you really haven't fought shit that makes the casual stand up and look or listen. Like, you haven't. Like, let's be completely honest. And you have guys like Bam who jumped up 2 fucking weight classes for a Quadras fight, bro. You have Bivol who didn't give Canelo no, like, bro, whatever you want to do, we gonna fight. Whatever you want to do. If we got to take more, if we got to take less money to do this thing than we think we deserve, hey, so be it, man. Fuck it. People make sacrifices. Floyd made sacrifices, bro. Right now, you are the guy who didn't want to fight Charlo. That's all I see. You are the guy who said Lara's boring. And what the fuck do you think you are? You think you a roller coaster? You called Lara boring. What do you think you are? You think you like what do you think? You think you like a fucking, like, what the fuck do you think you are, bro?
That's why I told you, Devin Haney showhouse the way.
And I love him for it. And I fucking love him for it. I fucking
who in the fuck wants to fight Devin Haney on one besides Roma? Nobody.
Exactly. Nobody.
So when
Demetrius Bivol.
Yeah. So when Devin Haney got offered, a logo offer in reality, but George Kambosos, Devin Haney said, "Okay, let's take the fight," because he wasn't going to gamble his chance to become undisputed. No, I need to get more money. The fight has to be in America. No,
he took it.
He took it.
And I can't stress that enough, that I feel that Devin Haney, and we'll see it in the next 2 years, that he set the tone for the young men in America, emphasis on American talent, that don't be scared, bro. If you believe you're a good fighter, keep believing that. You'll be a good fighter in Australia the same way you'll be a good fighter in America. You can beat a George Kambosos, bro. You can. You can do it. Just go.
It's this though. I feel you do make those sacrifices, but the promoters are also, people do this for a reason. They understand that these promoters see, oh, you fought this guy for this type of money, so I don't have to pay you any more. And they're going to start making their big contentions about it, like, oh, you fought Kambosos for $2 million when you were making more at Matchroom. Why should I pay you anything more than what you willingly signed for?
Bro, but the other thing is that Andrade is not a draw anywhere in this country, bro. Like, he's not. What are we talking about? A guy who don't draw shit in his own home state. Enough already, bro. It's entitlement. All right? Really, though, it is. Your situation was already fucked up. You got to be willing to make sacrifices. Big ones. Period. Because right now, where's he at? Look, you about to fight Desmond Nicholson, right? Who here actually thinks he's going to make more money fighting Desmond Nicholson on an undercard than he could have made fighting Yanni Beck as a champion?
No, but and also I didn't like the Yanni Beck thing, and he had me looking crazy, bro, because I thought he wasn't gonna vacate. I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of Yanni Beck and everything.
You know what the worst part is? He probably could have. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. That he could have beat that man. He could have beat that man.
But here's his conundrum is this. Oh, Yanni Beck didn't have so many fights, yada yada yada. But like, yo, because the thing is, with certain people, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. In that instance, I would have said, I'm damned if I would have been damned if I do, because ultimately I would have shut a lot of people up. Because Yanni Beck this, Yanni Beck that. Oh, Demetrius Andrade had his way with him. But these fans are haters, man. These fans
haters, man. But that's a lot. Do you know what look? Listen. A lot of that is bullshit, because you're always one fight away from being a superstar. Literally. You're one fight. I'm going to give you an example. It's not men's boxing. It's women's boxing. Alicia Baumgartner, the bookies had Terry Harper the favorite. They did. They had Terry Harper the favorite. She had the better resume, too. And she was an unbeaten fighter, an unbeaten champion. But Alicia felt, I can win. I go in there, I knock this bitch out. What she do? I go in there, I knock this bitch out. If you believe in what the fuck you got, believe in that shit and go with it. Devin did. He's undisputed. Motherfucker can't argue. All that email bullshit that Teofimo started from 2021, that shit don't matter no more. Who's undisputed? Not Teofimo. You were never undisputed.
He never was.
Devin is undisputed, bro. You got all them shits, all right? All that talk and all that bullshit, it don't mean nothing, bro. And all I'm saying is, you worrying about what people saying. You worrying about Canelo. You don't need to worry about none of that shit, bro. Fight the good fights that you could fight, because that's what's going to get you the bread at the end of the day. And it's not like Demetrius is a little guy anyway. He's actually not a little guy. When people see a guy who's about 6'1", 6'2", you got to go through this whole dog and pony show over some Yanni Beck, over some Parker. Canelo out here fighting Jacobs, Smith, Ryder, Fielding, Kova, Saunders, Plant, and you out here going through all this bullshit over Yanni Beck and some Yanni Beck and some.
But let me give you some pushback on that. All them dudes were willing to fight him because he was a cash cow, and he has a country.
Bro, enough, bro. Because the shit is, he's a cash cow. Did you know why he's a cash cow? He was willing.
He's willing to fight.
He's willing to fight. He's like, motherfuckers act like somebody gave Canelo. Nobody gave that little redheaded man nothing. Ain't no reason for a little redheaded man to be the best Mexican. Like, no, you don't even. People don't think he look Mexican. All right, so no, that don't work. It don't work. You keep telling yourself, I'm at where I'm at because he had it easier than I did. His reality, he was 15 in the pros. You was an Olympian when you came out. Who get the preferential treatment? The Olympians. The Olympians get the preferential treatment. They get the red carpet rolled out for them, not the little Joe Blows that been fighting in fucking Tijuana against Joe. No, bruh. So the victim shit, that don't work. You can't tell that story. And then afterwards, okay, who fought the Cottos and the Trouts and the Laras? Irrespective of the Mayweather, because it's self-explanatory that, well, you were going to get a lot of money to do that, so it's kind of, it's kind of self-explanatory. But irrespective of that, he fought the Laras, the Trouts, Cottos, the Fieldings, the Smiths, the Saunders, the Jacobs. Bro, you should have been the one that fought fucking Jacobs. Honestly. Honestly, though. No, you didn't fight no one.
I've been in the New York's boxing scene for a little bit, and there was always rumors that Andre Rozier never wanted that fight for Danny.
Bro, we could do that, but you can't tell. You're 34 years old and going on 35, and it was all bad luck. All of it. Nah, dog. Like, come look, Hagler had. And that's why guys like Hagler to old heads like me, that's the yardstick. He didn't have it easy. In fact, he had it worse than you. He had to go
a lot worse.
Anti-Fermo. Get jukes. Get jukes in the Anti-Fermo. And how many fights did he have before he fought Anti-Fermo?
Hey, Jules, remember when he went to England and he won that title that time and he was getting booed by the crowd?
Alan Mentor.
Yeah,
and
man.
And I'm like, bro, and that's why I don't pity these guys, because I'm like, yo, dog, not only did Hagler have more fights than you have now before he got the sniff at a world title, they fucking juked him. You got fucking robbed. And
you gotta remember, a lot of them dudes from the 70s was shut out of the middleweight division because of Bob Arum and how Bob Arum had, the middleweight title in Argentina and all
I am trying to say is that you cannot convince me at 34 years old in postmodern boxing that you couldn't make anything happen. Nah, bro. I can't, bro. Like, for real. Danny lost the Golovkin. And off of Danny losing to Golovkin, he got way better paydays after that. Why, though? He was willing to fight, and he performed. He didn't win, but he fought his fucking ass off. Well, that's what people pay to see. Right. Guys that are willing to fight their ass off. Even if you don't win, it's okay. Yep. When Danny's fighting, I know it's going to be okay. I know it's going to be a good fight because he's going to fight his ass off. I seen that. Now you, come on, man. You out here with Jack Coquet in Germany struggling.
Yeah. My point is very simple. Demetrius Andrade is the kind of guy that boxers in a particular way. How is that way? He goes for the 1-2, and if connects or it doesn't connect, he ducks under the waist, he goes into a clinch, and he uses his legs. Nobody wants to fight those kind of guys, and actually nobody wants to see those guys fight. So, if you are on that position, don't be talking about fucking money.
Exactly. And that's reality. Whether people, it's, you know what it's like, Leo? It's like the Casemiro and Rigondao fight. I know that there were guys, sweet science this, sweet science that. I don't give a shit what you think about how he fought. Here's what I know, which is what matters. People don't want to see that.
Nope.
They don't.
No, I didn't.
People don't want to see that. People that pay money to see two professional pugilists that spend all year training to fight, they don't want to see that, right? They don't want to see a Rigo. They don't want. I'm sorry if it hurts anybody's feelings, but it is the truth. When I'm watching two heavyweights, two men that weigh well over 200 pounds, you think I'm paying to see this motherfucker do laps around the ring behind the jab? I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not.
Yeah, and boxers actually trying to avoid those kind of fighters. Do you think Josh Taylor will have fought Cottrell if he hasn't a mandate?
Probably not.
No.
But Catterall didn't run from Josh Taylor. That's a bad.
That's another thing. Like I gotta say that Cataract. No, wait a minute. Cataract Casserole shifted his weight through his back foot a lot of that fight, but he didn't move lateral a lot of the fight. He just shifted his weight through his back foot, worked off the jab a lot of that fight. That's
and he
not
knocked him down. Let's not say that. No,
the better example is the Sandor Martin, bro. In your mind, because you didn't get hit like that, you think you won. The rest of the world and the audience, like, yo, are you gonna stand still and fight? Like, I know that you're not there to let him hit you. I get that. I know it's not your job to let him hit you. But fam, are you gonna fight? Because we don't see that you're fighting. What we see.
There was also the knockdown that was not called. That is true. That is true. But there was a knock. He did get knocked down once officially. But
God, if you really, Chris, stop it. Because if you really felt like that, step into your jab and take it to him.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Step into your jab and take it to him. Nah, all fucking fight all night. Stop it.
But
he a low dude too.
But when Tio was throwing punches at him, a lot of that stuff did miss when they were standing in front of each other.
You're not gonna do this, Chris. You're not gonna make this motherfucking argument, bruh. I know what I saw, and I seen even though Teofimo looked like caca, he willing to come forward and you not. The only reason you even really doing anything is because all night.
Go Speed Racer.
Let me clarify something.
Go.
Motherfucker got to do all that on. Like, bro, you doing all that. You because you winning? No, you don't want to engage. You don't want to engage.
Let me clarify something to you, Julius, and the people on the panel. You have a problem with people who uses the ring and uses the legs. I also
absolutely not.
I also in excess too much.
In excess, yes.
Yeah, not willing to engage.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because what Rigondeaux did against Casemiro is irreprehensible. You can't.
All right. Leo, let me say this. It's not all pure boxers, but there's a difference between setting a trap and retreat. There really is, though. There's setting a trap. You're gonna give him a little bit of ground, show him the jab a little bit, give him a different look. You're gonna do that to set a trap.
Yeah.
Them guys, not all them guys is doing that, bro. Some of them got all night.
Yeah, okay. I feel you, Julius. And I understand. What I have a problem is the kind of guys that goes to a fight and go into fight clinches to slow the pace of the fight, and then don't engage for 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes. That's the kind of guy that Demetrius Andrade is. That's the kind of guy that Jack Catterall is. That's the kind of guy David Haney is. But the difference is David Haney has the fights and he wins convincingly and outlands his opponents every time.
I don't think that because Leo, you got to look at his last couple fights. That guy was putting people on their ass.
Bro, no. Look, movers, and that's not. Believe it or not, it's not that long a list. Like, really though, like let's not shit on a lot. Jack is not like that. Like Jack, what I see Jack does, he shifts his weight on his back foot a lot, but he's not lateral a lot to where he's always no. He doesn't do that. Now Sandor, that's Sandor most of the time. That is Sandor. Yeah, all night. And what I don't like about Sandor, even though I do think he's a good boxer, he doesn't turn guys like Sonny turns guys. Sonny would give the guy enough that if he pivots, the guy will turn with him. And we turn with him, a lot of shit happens. You know what I mean? Sandor is just back on the ropes. Near.
Sonny can also fight off the ropes and on the inside too. And I think he showed that in his last fight.
You know what I mean? Like that Alvarado fight, there was at no point in the Alvarado fight that I feel Sonny needs to do more. The whole fight, I'm like, he's winning this fucking thing, bro. When he want to move, he move. When he want to engage, he engage. And everything that Alvarado is doing is in response to what Sonny is doing. Whereas with Sandor, it's like, yeah, you got to catch him, bro. You got to catch him. You have to, because he's not going to stand still.
Yeah, a pure boxer is his own worst enemy sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, shit. Motherfucking Virtuoso says, you don't become a boogeyman by turning down fights with Jermell, Lara, and Yanni back. Yeah, bro. It's like, bro, look, do I think
And Parker.
And Parker. Do I think Demetrius is a good fighter? Yes. But it's just very difficult to make a case for a guy who's older than Canelo having, bro, who did you fight? And then I'm supposed to look at that and say, okay, well, A, B, C, and D. Bro, you telling me that after all this time, you couldn't have had 1 or 2 signature fights? Really? Come on now. Like, I can't. Nah. No way, bro. You fuck some of these fights up, bro. You had to. Because it's other guys that I'm seeing coming through. They having fights. How could they be having fights and you not? You out here with some Desmond Nicholson. Nah, go.
You know, it's not. His name is Demon Nicholson, not Desmond. Actually.
My God. Motherfucking John Ryder, who I didn't even pick to win that fight, which is why I respect him. He didn't have to do that. He looked like, bro, I'm going to go fight on Frank Warren's show. Fuck no. Against his unbeaten guy, his young guy that's bigger than me. Fuck no. Nah,
for less money?
For less. Fuck no.
No.
Didn't he do that? Like on some real shit. No cap, no jokes, no comedy. He went to Queensbury. He made that motherfucker quit. He made him quit. Motherfucking Denzel Bugatti. Denzel Ford Focus. He goes to fucking.
You sick nigga, man.
Denzel
Why you
Ford
like this?
Denzel Mazda Miata.
Jules, you tripping, man.
Denzel Geo. He goes to he come to America. He fight the guy. Nobody want to know nothing about this Yanni Beck person. Nobody. Denzel Ford Probe. He go in there. He go in there. Denzel Toyota Corolla. He go in there and he fight, which is why I got love for him, because a lot of people didn't want to know, but you was willing, and he made him look human. He made people question, yo, Yanni Beck is not that dude. No. So that I could turn around and say what? That Demetrius is the guy? For doing what? The dude that he fought. You could have fought him. Nah, son. It don't work like that.
He was out there looking like a car.
Yo, Jules, I didn't ask you this. This is not boxing related, but what do you think about the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation? As per the information that you heard from the case, and as per all testimony and everything involved, I don't think he did it. I think he got railroaded.
You want me to be honest?
I
don't really want to chime in on that.
I
think I felt after the verdict was in that he got railroaded. I did, but I'm like, I just can't see myself ending up where you are So I know that you did something I wouldn't do. I can't. What, 2 joints is fighting and you pulled out the hammer? Why? Or you pulled out the hammer on a joint? Why? I can't.
I say this. I don't think he even pulled the. But Kim, let me just finish. From my perspective and my vantage point, I don't think he pulled out the hammer. I think it was Kelsey because hear me out. The majority of the gunshot residue was found on her, and also they were fighting over Tori. So with that being said, if someone's getting the better of you, I think Magda was getting the better of Kelsey, and Kelsey got tight, and she just pulled out the hammer. And I think they were fighting for the
something
gun.
is bro. Can I say this? Something wrong where 2 joints end up fighting, and I get hit with some shit. Something wrong. Can I say that? Like, does that make sense? They fighting, they going at it. And I get hit with what the fuck did I do? What did I do? Why am I even in this shit, bro? I'm just saying that there's things that happen in this generation that it don't make sense to me. It don't something wrong. And then you get stuck with you was fucking them both. Like he was fucking them both, right?
Yes, he was.
What's going on here? Fucking them both.
My whole thing is like he fucked up, and whether he did it or not is by texting her and apologizing for doing it. Whether he actually did it or not, like, bro, that's gonna get submitted into evidence, bro. Why would you do that?
There was no thing. There was no omission of guilt during those things. And during Kelsey's testimony, she said, "I lied to the prosecutor." Like, yo, bro, if you have a witness that's not even credible, reasonable doubt should have been established off of her testimony alone. This is crazy, bro.
But you know that. But look, play stupid. That's the only way I could put it. Like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Why does that make sense to me for this? Something is off about this. You getting pussy from both these bum bitches, bro. How do you end up with the short end of the stick? I don't understand that. I'm fucking both y'all. Can y'all chill?
Can I give you this?
Tried to team up.
Yeah, can I give you this nugget of information that people didn't know? Tory Lanez was signed to Interscope, right? And he was frustrated on how Interscope was running his career. He was signed through Interscope through Benny Blanco, but he got pissed off in how he was running their career, and he go out on Interscope. He went on Instagram to say, "Yo, if you don't let me out this deal, I'm going to expose you guys for what you guys do." And they let him out the deal. Chicks Tape 5 comes out. He has a good year. All of a sudden, he meets up with Meg Thee Stallion. Then this happens. Mind you, when he left Interscope with all his master recordings. So with that being,
it's just look. There's something. All right, it's a step missing for me. That's just how I see it. It's a step missing for me. Because all I'm doing is busting the nut. Really. That's the only thing these joints got in common. That's the only reason I'm even talking to y'all. Bang, I'm busting the nut. And Megan and Kelsey, whatever. How does that turn into me getting that?
Yeah, I think it was literally just 3 drunk idiots. Like, I don't think there was a conspiracy.
How does that turn into me getting that?
It's just 3 drunk dumbasses.
I'll put it another way, as best as I can. I feel that a lot of these young guys today, they do things that people my age, when we were their age, would not do, and they get caught up in things that if you fighting that bitch, you just fighting that bitch. All right, I don't know what the fuck going on here.
You gotta agree though that when you got this kind of money and you have this much on the line in your future, you have to move differently. I mean, you have to really.
I think it's I want to clarify. He's a young man. I know all of y'all was dumbasses when y'all was young. I know I was a dumbass when I was young, and I just can't rationalize a situation where, cause I busted a nut and I get knocked. Fuck out of here, B. Like I probably would have been elsewhere busting the next one. Fuck. I don't understand it. Like, nah, fam.
I think
You
it's
have to,
another generational fault. We do tend to fumble pussy quite a bit in my age bracket.
but also too, like you got to understand that no matter what, if you get to the point where you're going to be dealing with the judicial system, and you're a man who's got money, and there's a woman or women, they're going to be seen as a victim. I don't care what anybody says. That's the reality
No,
of
yeah,
life.
you're right about that. You're right about that. But that's why you move the way you move. In other words, I feel like men, for example, like what happened with Ari Spears and what he said about Lizzo. This is my example. I know he's not from this generation, but I felt like he did some things that, or said some things and behaved in a way that is akin to this generation. Yo, you trying to fuck that fat bitch? Nah, right? Leave her alone. Yeah, she a fat ass bitch. I don't even be talking about this bitch. I'm not trying to fuck this fat bitch. You see what I mean? You said things about that woman that you didn't need to say that made you a social pariah. And I feel like that's akin to things that this generation does. You get caught up in shit that you really don't even need to be in. If it's me, I ain't even gonna say nothing bad about Lizzo just because I know how that's gonna go. Like, nah, man, Lizzo, shit, she makes some good music, and that's cool. And I'd have left it there. You gotta start talking about she got diabetes, fam. You probably got diabetes.
You got to read the temperature of like how society's moving. I mean, Lizzo obviously became famous, popular. She's clearly overweight, not the most attractive person in the whole entire world, but she's hot right now. And there's going to be lots of people that are going to come out putting pressure on the fact that they have to defend her. And then social media will defend her, and then mainstream media will defend her. And you're just going to look worse. So it's like you said, just keep your mouth shut.
I felt that he thought that because I felt like the Ari Spears thing is the perfect parallel of what I'm trying to describe. That maybe he thought in his mind that because he's a comedian, he could get away with taking a shot at her. Because I honestly felt you taking shots at her, she's not really taking shots at you. She probably doesn't even know who you are. And you behave in the way that you did, it's like, well, you kind of brought that on yourself. That, you know, like, so was she fat? Are you trying to fuck her? That's my question. She could be fat as shit. She could be big as a house. Are you trying to fuck? Nah, right? So why is her weight your problem? It's not. In a nutshell, she could be fat than a motherfucker.
Hey, Jules,
Unless you trying to fuck.
backstage. He wants to come in.
I got you.
You can be right in a situation.
I'm about to drop off, guys.
Yeah, unless you try to fuck, her weight don't matter, bro. Like, don't even say nothing about that, because then you gonna make yourself a social pariah.
Hey yo, let me say this, okay? Fuck Ari Spears, man. You saw that shit he was in with Tiffany Haddish?
I didn't see that shit. Go ahead.
Well, apparently they did some comedy skit in which I guess they're trying to be. It was some dark comedy that involved children, and let me just put it that way. He got in the bathtub with a kid, and you know this, that, and the other. I'll see if I can find a clip, and I'll probably shoot you a link to that shit.
Just know it's some foul shit, bro. He just did some foul shit.
But yeah, man, there was you know, they had a lot of heat recently, this past, you know, fall about that when people started talking about it, because it was kind of like an open secret. But like, yo, you other than talking about Lizzo, which is like, yo, you're really like 2 pounds away from diabetes too yourself. But like, why the fuck are you even like talking? Like, dog, you fucking irrelevant.
Well, like, and that's. I'll say this. That's kind of my thoughts on him in a nutshell. You took a shot at somebody that was relevant at a time when you're irrelevant, and the shot that you took was unnecessary because so what if she fat? Unless you try to get some pussy from her, it really don't matter. She could be fat than a motherfucker. You try to get some ass, what you doing? You don't even be talking about that. That shit don't even make sense for you to attack that woman. She made a song that's more relevant than any of your comedy skits. So be quiet. Motherfuckers don't be sitting around talking about funny Ari Spears jokes. Nobody talk about you, bro. Nobody be talking about you, bro.
Yeah, do another Shaq impersonation.
Like you said, he's a comedian, so he probably thought he was saying some funny shit that people will get a laugh out of. But you know, talking about people's weight and shit in society now, and dogging on it doesn't work.
It's no. I don't want it to sound like I'm defending Lizzo. What I'm saying is in this climate, you need to know better, right? Now, you taking a shot at an artist that is buzzing more than you are. If you have any common sense, leave her alone. You're not trying to get no pussy, right? Right. You don't find her attractive, right? Right. So don't pick on her. And I felt like, yo, you picking on her because she fat, and you not realizing you can't win that fight because you ain't shit. Nobody be talking about you. Nobody be talking about no Aries Spears stand-up comedy skit. Nobody give a fuck about you, bro. Leave that woman alone. You know what I mean? That's how I took it. That like you probably thought that she was low-hanging fruit and not realizing, yo, you just gonna make yourself look dumb. Cause she popping. You not. That's for real.
That's facts.
Might be fucking talk like, bro. I watch a lot of comedy skits. I don't watch no motherfucking Aries Spears, bro. Like, you're not funny like that. You said that
I
shit.
can't remember the last time I saw an Aries Spears special.
Bro, he said that shit the way I took it. He said that shit because he thought it was gonna be funny. Like, nah, nobody fuck with you like that, bro. And it just looked like you trying to pick on her. Leave her alone. Cause I listen to some music from her before I listen to some comedy from you. Not popping like that, bro. Get out of here.
I'll listen to some comedy from her before I listen to some comedy from her.
Get out. Yeah, I mean, like, bro, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, and that's how I took it. I took it as, oh, this some weak shit. Like, you trying to pick on her because she big, and I ain't even. It ain't even that. Like, nah, I ain't like that. I'm just, I mean, I ain't my speed, but I'm just saying, like, yo, you thinking that you could say something bad about her because it's easy. And nah, fam, you been whack. You been whack forever, bro. Like like nobody fuck with you, bro. Like I can't remember an Aries Spears era. I can remember a Cat Williams era. I can remember that. I can remember that.
You know when he was really popping was Matt TV.
Yeah, well, Aries Spears is like known in like the comedy world for being incredibly like unlikable and difficult to work with. Like he's just a big ass, like he's the big asshole basically.
Yeah, like I don't remember, like, and I'm big on stand-up comedy. You know, the Eddie Murphy shit, You So Crazy with Martin, the Richard Pryor shit, the early Chappelle shit. Like, and I'm like, bro, there was never an Aries Spears era, ever. You were never popping in comedy. You claimed the fame is Mad, and you wasn't even the funniest person on Mad TV. Like, real, like for real though. Like, you know, SNL had Sherry O'Terry and Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. They had a lot of good people on there. Norm Macdonald. Bruh, you not even the funniest dude on Mad, bruh. The blonde girl was more funny than you.
Will Sasso was the man.
Will Sasso, motherfucking, what's his name? Orlando? His name is Orlando, right?
Yeah.
It's mad, like you suck, bro. Like, that's just what I think of when I think of Aries Spears. Like, yo, you suck, bro. Fucking suck. Like, you shouldn't be talking about nobody that's popping while you suck.
And that's a New York nigga, bro. It's like I don't fuck with him heavy, but like, yo, you cool and all, but like, yo, you not really that hot, bro.
Bro, I didn't even know he was a New York cat.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I don't even think it doesn't look that bad, you know? It's my type. Me and Bud, you know, that's our type.
Like, bro, like I can't remember one era when motherfuckers was sitting around talking about some Aries Spears jokes. Like, nah, that never happened. That never happened.
Well, that's the thing is, if you're not really extremely relevant and you can still pull a paycheck and make a living and not have to get a real job, just know your lane. Just shut the fuck up. Wait for the right project, and then once maybe you're popping, you can come up with some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, like I seen that Tiffany Haddish was getting a lot of hate, and I saw that Kevin Hart was getting a lot of hate, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, Kevin Hart, he had a couple of good specials. I didn't think they were that great, personally. I prefer the comedy of Eddie Murphy, but maybe that's just because I'm a very old person. I'm like, no, he got some shit. He's funny. Like, he is a funny guy.
Well, Kevin Hart plays the perfect role. He plays like that likable guy mainstream, Kind of like the safe comedian that's funny, but he's not too controversial, so he can get into like almost any movie. He plays a really
Yeah.
good second guy, like
I,
the guy
I think his
against The Rock, or the guy against like Will Ferrell. So he can make plenty of money, but he plays kind of a safer type of role all the time.
I'm gonna tell you who I like. I'm gonna tell you.
I miss Richard Pryor, man.
I'm gonna tell you who I like, and I think he's very original, and it's not forced. Like with Kevin, Kevin talks about being a short person a lot because that's exclusive to him. So a lot of his comedy is derived from the experiences that he has.
Well, he also has writers though.
Well, that too. Tony fucking Baker, bro. He's fucking funny, bro. I don't give a shit. That dude is funny as shit, bro. And he don't talk about none of the shit that nobody be talking about. Like, he just say his comedy is so refreshing because it's not regurgitated shit. I like that Tony Baker guy, man. And I'm real big on I'm real big on stand-up comedy, and I got Tony Baker has my attention.
My favorite guy right now is Bill Burr, but I've been liking Bill Burr for like the last decade. I always think he's really sarcastic.
Oh, Bill Burr's great.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites right now.
You guys ever listen to Richard Pryor very much?
Bro,
Richard Pryor is a goat.
Man, that was one of my favorites when I was coming up as a kid. Man, he was the best.
Can I say that my GOAT comedy Hall of Fame, and I gotta save a spot for Bill because Bill really was funny, and he was on his own shit. To me, I have it: Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy. That's my Mount Rushmore.
I like Eddie Murphy better. I put Eddie Murphy number 2. Number 1, Richard Pryor. Eddie Murphy number 2. Then I got Bill Cosby, and then I got Dave Chappelle. And you can throw Chris Rock in there. Maybe not on the Mount Rushmore, but he's the top 10.
Chris ain't bad. Chris ain't bad. Let's Chris is a funny guy. Like, Chris is funny. Chris is funny.
I like Sam Kinison back in the day too. He was pretty hilarious.
I like
George
another guy who I didn't.
Can I say George Carlin?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. George Carlin, I didn't understand really well when I was younger because a lot of the topics he was talking about kind of went over my head. But as I got older, I really started to relate more to him. Really,
because I'm gonna say that George, when George was alive, I didn't appreciate him. It literally wasn't until after he passed away that this dude is fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you guys a short story about George Carlin if you guys are willing to hear.
Go ahead.
He did a comedy show in my city. It was back in, I want to say it was 1996, 97, 98. It was around that time. So I was a pretty young guy. And my dad had played some George Carlin at the house when I was growing up. So, it was always that guy that I listened to. But I also like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So again, I used to watch that movie when I was young. Because if you guys remember back in the day, you didn't have cable, or at least I didn't have cable. So, you only got to see probably 10, 12 movies a year because they were always on For real. So I really love that dude. So I said to myself, you know what? George Carlin's going to be at this comedy place in my city. It's really easy, accessible to the public. I want to meet this dude. So I said, I want to meet George Carlin. I want to get my CD signed by George Carlin. So there I am. I wait. I'm at the show, and I'm before the show because, I didn't want to stay out too late. I was still a young kid at that time. It was downtown, so it was kind of a sketchy area for me, a guy who lived in the suburbs. So there I am waiting, and the show starts at 8 o'clock, 7:30, whatever it is. And the guy who's going to open the show, he's already there, already gone in. So it starts approaching. It's getting late. And I think the show started at 8 o'clock or 7:30. And I'm looking at my watch here, and I'm just wondering what the hell's going on. I've been waiting out here for an hour and a half to meet this dude. And sure enough, I'm standing there, and the show starts. So the comedian who opened is out on stage, and I can hear him because I'm waiting out the back, and it's really accessible area. And and it's kind of cold outside. I got my pen. I want to get signed. And I have my album. And sure enough, I kind of looking around, and this beat up car pulls up, little hatchback. It looks like something that somebody who would be in college or high school would deliver a pizza in. All rusted out on the side and edge. And there's this cone sitting here, right here. And you got to understand, this is downtown. So it's right on the street. There's no parking or anything. You're literally going to pull up. And so I'm expecting this limousine or this black car or something to pull up. And sure enough, I'm looking off to the side. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm thinking, what the fuck? I sat out here all day waiting for this. And this dude says to me, and he goes, "Hey," and I look up, and this little small dude, bald dude, looks at me, and goes, "Hey, you busy?" And I'm like, I didn't know who it was. I kind of looked. I go, "No, what's up?" He goes, "You want to move that cone for me?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I'm looking at this car, and this car honestly looks like a piece of shit. And I get closer, and I'm going to move the cone, and I look in, it's fucking George Carlin, driving himself in this hoopty. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So of course I look at the dude, I'm like a young guy, and I'm like, "Hey man, you're George Carlin." He's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm late." And I go without saying anything, I go, "Will you sign my album?" He goes, "Yeah, just move the goddamn cone." So I move the cone out of the way, and this car's like backfiring, smoking. It's like got rust on it. Parks the car, gets out, and this little short dude walks up, probably no more than like 5'5", 5'6", and I'm thinking to myself, first of all, the show's already started. This dude looks like a bum. He's driving this beat up car, and I'm getting harassed by like a 60-something-year-old man. So I say, "Hey, you know what? Love your comedy and whatever." And he's a nice guy, and he takes my album and he signs it. And I go, "Thanks, son." He's like, yeah, you're welcome. And he walks in. And not 5 minutes later, he starts talking. I could hear him through there. But that story will always sit with me because I just thought to myself, why the hell is George Carlin, driving like an old, like 81 Datsun to his own comedy
because
show?
nobody would recognize him in it.
Dude, I'm not
That's
kidding.
why.
I'm not making that up, dude. That is
Bro,
literally
George,
a real story.
Listen, I'm gonna say George walked it like he talked it, B. Like
Yeah.
on some real shit. Like he was like that. Like he walked it like he talked it, B.
You know who else I really miss too? Then I love to see him, and I ran into him several times at different places. Robin Williams.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Can I say this, country? Can I say this? I wasn't a fan of Robin Williams, the comedian, but I was a fan of Robin Williams, the person.
I liked his comedy always, and I liked his acting. I ran into him at the Ren Fair because I used to perform there up here in Northern California. I ran into him there with his kids. I ran into him, I'm sure, when he was a mime when I was a kid growing up. I just didn't know it was him at the time because he wasn't famous yet. And then I ran into him at a sporting goods store on Haight Street. I was in line right in back of him, but I'm looking at his back. So I didn't know it was him until he starts paying for something. I look over, and it's Robin Williams. And I'm like, oh, shit, in my mind, And I didn't say nothing because I don't want to bother the guy and piss him off or anything. So I didn't say nothing, but he was right in front of me.
Bro.
I think, like real quick, I think just circling back to Carlin, I think another guy that's like really influential that was in his lane was Bill Hicks. And I used to watch his stuff a lot. So when I actually tried doing stand-up, I'm a failed comedian. But I actually tried doing stand-up when I was a teenager.
So am I. I did it too.
Yeah, I studied Bill Hicks a lot. I didn't find him funny that funny, but I just thought what he did was interesting. But I think as far as my generation, the most influential comedian, directly or indirectly, is probably Patrice O'Neal, even more so than Chappelle.
I'll say
Damn, you took the words out of my mouth, man.
Patrice O'Neal was good, but I feel he was dated. The shit that Chappelle says, it's just I think he's a fucking genius, man. I really
he's
do.
Hilarious. I love Chappelle.
Yeah.
He's a fucking genius. And I have to say that the weirdest comedian that I ever saw, because I actually thought he was fucking hilarious in his time, but now he just seems so is Dane Cook.
Oh,
yeah.
I have that opinion of Chappelle. Like, I think his recent work is I like his older stuff. But yeah,
because Dave Chappelle's stuff now is more like almost political commentary than it's more so comedy.
But it's funny though. It's funny. Like
I'm not saying it's not,
funny.
but he used to talk about, bitches and weed and, weird situations with the police. And he might talk about tinge of racism and situations.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff now is funny, but it's actually geared toward a lot of his political. And that wasn't what he did for a long time.
I don't know. I like jokey shit. Like from the golden age, I like Rodney Dangerfield. That's who I like.
Oh, I love
Rodney Dangerfield.
No, Rodney wasn't bad. Like even now, like even though these are very different times, Rodney, you could see he had some shit. Like he really had some shit. It was more Family Guy jokes though. Take my wife, please. Like, but he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
But I'll say
I was watching a recent roast of Muhammad Ali. I think it was D. Martin roast. And there was this guy that really
those, man. They go off on people, man. Hilarious.
Don Rickles was pretty much the roast master. Don Rickles was the roast master of his time before.
Don Rickles was a funny motherfucker.
He was
That
so
dude, he was fearless too. He'll go up and make fun of people right to their face, their ethnicity, or anything when he was alive. He didn't
he
care.
was so good. He was so good because he could like right away, no matter what the situation, he immediately had a joke or he had a retort. It was amazing.
You know what? This is real. He was the only guy who could mess with Frank Sinatra and not get in trouble. Like
Yeah.
one time he's in a restaurant with his wife and some friends, right? And Frank comes walking up to the table to talk to him, and he looks at Frank and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, not right now, Frank. Thank you." It like brushes him off.
I seen this. Who's seen Louis C.K.? I saw his first.
He's a comedian. He's pretty funny, man.
He was okay. He was, like, I'll say he was. I forgot what because he did something or he said something that he fell off. But I saw his first.
He was.
Yeah, me too.
He's pulling his dick out in front of female.
What's Parakua says Andrew Dice Clay. He was good, but he faded out after a while.
Yeah, like he's a '90s guy. He was dated. That
I
was
like David Tell. How about David Tell? You guys know him?
Who?
His name? What's his name?
David Tell. He's a New York comic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, David Tell.
That guy's phenomenal.
He was part of that Up All Night with David Tell. He did that show on Comedy Central for a while.
Yeah.
Can I say this? You know who's fucking funny? I swear to God, I'm not even exaggerating. Steve Willis, the referee, bro.
Really?
He does comedy.
I'm not even playing. I saw his stand-up act. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
The referee, bro. The one that
Well,
was at.
there's a number of people that got started doing comedy, like Tim Allen did. He did stand-up. The guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, Ray Romano.
Ray Romano?
Ray Romano. He did stand-up comedy. I mean, there was like a number of people that
Jim
did it, and
Carrey.
then they crossed
Jim Carrey.
over.
A lot of
and-
people don't know Jim Carrey did stand up for.
Well, let's
quite a
be
while.
honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, country. Tim didn't get his start in comedy. He got his start selling cocaine.
Yeah, he did, man.
He did
was a
though.
criminal.
Like, that's like that, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was selling coke.
Can
He
we
was a
say
criminal,
that
bro.
Tim
He had
Allen
a
is more
criminal record.
gangster than Gervonta Davis?
I think so. He
Yeah.
actually did
Yeah.
time in the Bing. He did. He. I ain't gonna lie. He's telling on people because that's how he got out.
Yeah.
Tim Alpo.
Literally, that's what he did.
Tim Alpo, but he was.
Exactly.
But yeah, he did more time in the Bing than Davis. Like
Yeah.
You know who I got to see one time? I was in the last days of the Quake radio station in San Francisco, and like I think it was in the '90s sometime. It was a comedians Bob Rubin and Bob Goldthwait together, and they were doing the
Bobcat
morning
Goldthwait.
show. And
Yeah, Bobcat.
they were doing the morning show, man, and together those dudes were hilarious, man. It was
Look,
great.
he was funny on Full House, but I have to admit, I never saw a stand. If he had a stand-up act, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
The
I
dude
didn't-
who I cannot
for young
stand as a comedian, but I always like to show Seinfeld. I can't stand Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up, but I always enjoy the show.
I don't know. I was
the
getting a
deal
kick
with
out of some
that?
of his jokes.
I gotta disagree with you. I look, honestly, Jerry. I got a soft spot for Jerry. He was funny as fuck, bro.
He was.
He could
Hey,
take the most meaningless shit and
Mhm.
turn it into a whole bit, bro. He could take the most meaningless shit.
that was his talent. That was
Yeah.
Seinfeld basically.
But you know who
I
did
just
that
like
the
his
best?
voice. I like his voice and delivery.
Yeah,
Midget Hedberg.
I like Jerry.
What's the deal with Tank? He's
You know
punching
who
bitches.
I really liked Red Fox, even though he swore a lot. I really liked Red Fox too.
Yeah, I like Red Fox. I saw a little bit of his stuff. I like Red Fox.
What about your boy Bernie Mac? Bernie Mac was always really funny.
No, Bernie was Bernie
Bernie was great.
Bernie was legitimately funny, but I felt like Bernie's comedy was more related to his delivery than what he was saying. He was saying it in such a way that is funny because of how he's saying it.
That's who's that guy? Who's that guy? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's kind of the same way. His delivery and his cues were so perfect a lot of times when he would do comedy.
You know what
Stephen
Steve
Wright.
Harvey is, right? You know what Steve Harvey is, right?
He's a Capricorn, I assume.
Oh
Oh my God! How could he have guessed it? How could he have?
Yeah, you know
I
what?
mean, how else could he have stayed on TV for so long? He's a Capricorn, of
I
course.
really liked listening to Cosby when I was growing up. I
Yeah.
had a lot of his tapes and stuff, like the one about Noah. He's all Noah.
Yeah.
What do you want? He's all yelling at God.
Country. What about Freddie Prinze?
Oh yeah, I liked Freddie Prinze, man.
He died way too
especially-
young.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's before a lot of you guys' time, but man, Freddie Prinze.
Wait a minute. Freddie ain't dead.
Yeah.
Talking about
Oh
his,
no, not
talking about his
Freddie.
dad.
I'm thinking of the
Freddie
dude.
Prinze Sr.
Freddie Prinze Sr. His dad.
All right.
He did Chico and the Man.
All right. Yeah, I'm bugging because I was confusing him with his son.
Yeah, no.
Confusing him with his son.
I think
he
Stephen
committed
Wright is
suicide
another
when he
good
was
one.
young.
All right. On that note, gentlemen, I'm fucking going to sleep because I just realized it's like 1 a.m.
All right, man.
Fucking hell,
Tech not
bro.
guilty.
Hey, we had a
Or
good
is he?
time.